Oh, not working. Do 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 do. Hello, everyone. Sorry, I was indisposed, but give me a second. I'm working on it. I swear. No, gosh darn it. Come back. Here it is. I see you are all entertaining yourselves in the chat, though. I know I can leave you unattended. No, I don't want that one. This. Oh, dang it. Where did it go? Ah, now I've lost it. Nope. 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 I'm just gonna keep clicking on shit, and now everything's gonna be playing. Yes. Did. I love everybody who's like, I can't watch, but I'm listening. Alright, tap a 1 if you can hear me. I cannot hear myself. But you know. Who needs to hear themselves? That's crazy talk. Cool. You hear my cat in the background? He is wound up. I don't know what he wants. He wants to be heard is what he wants. But, alright, let's do this. Ooh. Right. That's the video, that's my audio, so why can't I hear it? Because you switched your sound setting, that's why. No. No. Oh. Here we go. Okay, cool. Bonk. Thought I'd switch the hats up today. I also put my jawbones on so I can actually wear my hat without it falling off my damn head. Crazy talk, I know. Let's see, chat. Let's get you going so I can see you. Hey, there's the chat. Hello, everyone. How are you today? Let me scroll up some. Hello, Midori. Hello, Bang. I haven't seen you in a minute. That title got me to pause for a good minute. Wonder if it has to do with the hypermasculine image platforms by Andrew Tate. Ugh. Anyway. Hello, Rocky. Hello, Pufferfish. Hello, Not My Tail. Hello, Megan. Hello, Yep. LJG. Hello, Small Fly. Anyway. Hello, Concentrate on the Small Things. Hello, Alice. Hello, Patch. Hello, Sweary Fairy. Tea and herbs and fire and wind and star and meditation. Actually, tea sounds really good. I didn't get myself anything to drink. I might have to get up a little bit and get some drinks, but... Now, Kita? Hello. Well, hello. Squinting at the screen because I can't see. Gee, if only there was a way that I could see the screen without squinting. Huh. No? I've lost my cleaning cloth. Well, that sucks. And in the process, I'm knocking everything around. Hooray. Oh, this'll do. Hello, Ellie. Hello, Pufferfish. Did I say not my tail? Hello. Hello, Pup. Hello, Smug. Hello, Polina. Thanks for the notification. Really? I gave it a half hour. I gave it 45 minutes to notify you guys. Like, it should have gone out. I'm the Aya the Taiga? Please say I didn't say something horrible there. Hello, concentrate on small things. I got you. I don't know. What have I got on my glasses? Oh, hopefully they won't be too bad. Ow. Oh my goodness, my glasses are broken. No. Oh well, that's what I got. Hello, Megan, Land Designer, K-Buns, Ruby, Purbug, Pufferfish. I think I got everybody. I think you're all just repeating now. Hello, Linda. Hello, Diary. Oh, happy birthday, Diary. We can talk if you DM me. Hello, Annie. Hello, Brioche. More Brioche, and everybody's topping in ones. Let's see, what have we got? I've lost my mind, so you're ahead of me. I found my glasses. What's your favorite tea? I am a big fan of the Cream Earl Grey or a London Fog. Right now I'm drinking the Celestial Tea Libra from Tivana. It's very good, but it's kind of like a chocolate raspberry. It's very good. We'll be switching over to the Scorpio tea in a bit. I'm living the cat life. Alright, I think I'm caught up now. I learned to save the wrong species. Hello. What'd you do? You set up your workstation so you could join in. Yay! Like Eye of the Tiger. Cool. It's Eye of the Tiger. You're a big fan of anything that's not tea. So I'm trying to do this thing. Oh, yep. And Kim's here. Yay. We'll have a Discord link in a minute, I think. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if they're still allowing people on the Discord. What was I saying? Oh, I'm trying to sing that my friend was telling me that they drink tea throughout the week and then on the weekends they drink coffee. So I thought, I like tea. And I used to drink tea. That used to be what I drank in the morning. So I just switched back to drinking tea for the morning drink, and then I'll have coffee on the weekends and see if it, I don't know, if I feel different. I don't know. I'm one of those people, though, I could drink a cup of black ass coffee right before I go to bed and I will have no problem sleeping whatsoever. So caffeine does not actually do a whole lot for me, unfortunately. Or fortunately, I don't know. Oh my god, my cat is going nuts. I don't know what's wrong with him. Iki! Kitty, 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 kitty! What's wrong, bud? You can go outside. The doors are open. I don't know what he wants. He's a cat. Okay. Alright, we got a link to the Discord if people would like to join. It is run by Nerfy. It is not mine. Excuse me. Tea is, yeah, Squidrat, that's my problem. I have too much tea. Too much tea. Aw. Yeah. See, this is why I like Kim, because Kim remembers to do all the things that I forget to do, like, you know, tell you guys you could be members. Which I am going to do a members live tonight. So we're not going to be on too long right now. Well, I mean, we'll be on, but I think tonight I'm going to shoot for around 4:30, 5 p.m. my time, EST. And that'll be a members only, so. Meow. Oh, really? Renata? Coffee before... See, I just don't think I have ADHD, but then people tell me all these things and I'm like, yeah, that tracks. But, alright. I mean, it was a professional, I suppose. I should listen to the doctor, but, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, I've heard that, Jasmine, and I've tried doing the coffee and then you take a nap or you sit for like 20 minutes and then you're supposed to feel awake again. So I'm one of those people. I can sleep anytime. I don't know if that's a bad idea, Paulina. You can fix my cat. I need something. They're all acting weird today, though. I'm guessing it's because the weather is very nice here. It's very cool. It's very fall-like. So I guess they're just stir crazy. But they have the door open. They can go out onto their porch. They have a catio. They can go out. Super creepy mod. Not my tail. I worked. Oh, yay, Sephora. Welcome. Welcome to the interns. Wahaha. I worked with a guy. He would eat one meal a day. He would eat dinner. And during the day, now this is doing archaeology. So we're out in the field like 8 to 10 hours a day doing work. We're hiking, we're digging, we're moving dirt. You know, we're doing work. I never saw him eat food. He would drink, he'd bring out these 2 thermoses of coffee, and he would start drinking coffee first thing in the morning, and that's all he would drink all day. And he was a good worker. Like, it's not like he had one of those weird, you know, like they always tell you, if you don't eat, your brain's gonna turn off. Never had that problem with him. And then at night when we would all go out for like crew dinner or something like that, he would order like 2 meals and eat both of them. Like, it was very OMAD-esque. It's just the amount of coffee he would drink through the day, though. I don't think I ever saw him drink water. It was just coffee. So, I mean, there are some people that just run on coffee, apparently. You can't do meds that make you drowsy. It does the opposite. Oh, what's going on? Who has something? I have jawbones. These are, they're the ones that are supposed to vibrate. So you don't technically hear things. I like them. They're fine. They don't do exactly what they say they're going to do. So whoever that was that asked about mine, these are just that's a headset. Okay, buns. Coffee has water in it. Yeah, exactly. I have unflavored electrolytes. I can put that in my coffee. It's fine. See, now it's an energy drink. Oh, on top of my hat? It's a moth. It's a lunar moth. The giant ass lunar moth pin. I meant to move it around to the front, but I didn't. Coffee slave. This is like chocolate is technically a vegetable because it comes from a bean. Squid rat, that's about right. That tracks. A forensic anthro advisor. What are you studying? That's awesome. I wanted to do forensics so bad. I'm kind of glad I didn't, but I really wanted to do forensics. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I forget where I got it. I've had it for like 2 years now. Well, Abby, that's a sign. Abby normal. Sorry. I wanted to do... There we go. Bang. Since it's the beginning-ish of the month, and for some reason it's recognizing that I am me today. 2, 3, 4. Hey, horse and rider. I see you lurking. Alright, Bayong, Diary, Squid Rat, Linda, and Horse and Rider Wellness. Welcome to the interns. Bwahaha. No, it's okay, Smug. I'm terrified of spiders. There's no reason to be terrified of spiders. I don't live in an area where spiders are going to get me. Alright, anyway. So, alright, let's do this. I wanted to watch... Let's see if I can find it. I don't want that. This one. So there's a channel I've been watching, and I think somebody posted a link for them in the Discord that I was talking about and should be pinned at the top. What is his name? His name is Politirants. Pull him up. And oh, that sounds like, fortunately, it doesn't sound like crap to you guys. It just sounds like crap to me. Window. Is that the right window? I think this window's still set for... Why does it do this? Why does it do this? Seriously, OBS. What is your malfunction? No. OBS, OBS. Why are you such a punk? Do any of these work? This one works. Alright, well. Here we go then. Chihuahua. That's trippy. No. There we go. Ta-da! I don't think he's a new channel. And it is a guy. So, Politirants, I think somebody's posted them in the Discord, again, post with the link above. And I don't know. I don't think I like him, but his videos are good. I don't know. He makes some good points, but he also makes some, like, not great points. But you can tell that he's talking from, like, a point of... from a position of, like, knowledge. So I think I just don't agree with his points, which is, I mean, like, on a intellectual level, it's not like, oh my god, he's so stupid. I mean, I think I just don't agree with his philosophy, which is fine. That's how shit works, you know? If we all agreed on everything, it would be a beautiful, perfect world, and I would be your leader. Mwah. But anyway. Come here, I want to play with my goo. Also, I may have ordered 4 new slimes that are all Halloween themed. Hopefully they'll get here before Halloween too. Last time I ordered from OG Slimes, it like took almost 6 months for me to get the stuff I ordered. Very strange. Wasn't their fault. Here. The Philadelphia mail system decided to lose them. You should have seen the box when they arrived. Anyway. So back to this guy. Oh, and this is Hairball Sweater. But, where are all the male fat activists? He's got several videos. I guess I could show you his channel. I'm not... Let me make this clear. I am not saying y'all should go... I'm not promoting his channel. I'm just showing you guys what I'm watching and where it's coming from. But... like, he has some good stuff. And you could tell that he started this channel trying to do other things. So his oldest videos are like 5 months ago. He will show his face. He's not a faceless channel. There we go, words. But he really found his, you know, he did 3 videos kind of centered around glitter and lasers and just the fat activist movement and just fat phobia and that kind of stuff. And I've watched some of these. Does he still have that one up? He's got one up here. I don't know, man. I really didn't. I didn't like the similarities that he was trying to draw, and he'll mention it in this video actually, and we'll talk about it then. Well, we won't actually, but we'll hit on it. But you know, like starvation mode is not real. Fat activist cringe I don't know about compilations, but he does have this. Where are all the male fat activists? And we might watch the semi-glutide one, but I guess my hesitance with like really promoting him is that I don't feel like he fully researches a topic before he tries to integrate it into his arguments, especially when it comes to basically feminism and anything having to do with like women's perspectives or women's rights, which I find to be very common with male commentary channels like this, because that's kind of my biggest bitch with Omegon. I love Omegon, I really do. I like his channel, I like his videos, but if it comes down to anything that is remotely feminist or women's issues, he's just completely wrong most of the time, and he has no problem with it. So just that kind of stuff. And this guy is kind of the same way. Like, he's obviously intelligent, he can make a good argument, he clearly knows something about the topics he's talking about, but then he'll kind of step off out of his like familiarity and into feminism or something like that, and then he just starts bashing it because he doesn't understand the arguments or the points anyway, and has no intention of learning them either, and I think that's what irritates me about it. But it doesn't mean he has bad videos, it just means I don't agree with his philosophy. So wait, Squidrat answered my question and I have completely missed it. There's never a good day to join a cult. Yes, there is. Welcome to Tiny's Cult Leadership TED Talk. Every day is a potential. You guys crack me up. I do have this hat in a variety of colors, yes. We're not going to talk about it. Thanks for the live stream. Well, good luck getting home. Wait, what did Squidrat answer? I used to study forensic anthropology, but I do biochemistry now. Ew, infectious diseases, gross. Cancer bio. That's kind of cool. That's what my partner studies. Well, that's where he works. He works in that stuff. My sister's a bio major, and she would let me into the cadaver. Ew. See, that's why I'm kind of glad I didn't go into the forensics. Like, the bone stuff is fine. The bones don't bother me. Teeth are a little weird. Bones don't bother me. The box of fingernails that we had for some strange reason in my bio lab, in the Osti lab, I don't know why we had that. That was creepy. Because I don't even know why. But we did. What's up, buddy? Oh no, that's the little girl. You coming over? You coming over? Here. Come here. I can sit there. Whatever. Freaking cats. Could you blame me for that? They're kind of cool. Oh, you want up? You have to say hi. Here. These hats are really cool, and then what I really like about them is you can really kind of, well, you saw with the purple one, you can really kind of go nuts with them. Really? She didn't want that in there. Oh, yeah, hang on. Cat view. Guess we'll just have to live with not being on the screen for a minute. Anyway, I wanted to watch this with you guys. I've already watched it twice now. I'm trying to digest everything he has to say. There has been, not just him, but a lot of people, especially men, have pointed out that there are not a lot of men in the fat acceptance movement, and they are correct. There are not. So, I always like to examine, especially from, you know, what I was saying earlier about his like lack of understanding of feminism. I like seeing from these guys' perspectives why they think there aren't a lot of men in the fat acceptance movement, because they do find things that I don't know if I would come across just because of the pools I swim in. So it's interesting to me to see them build those arguments as to, again, why there aren't men in the fat activist movement. It's also very interesting to see his take on fat activism. Again, I don't like the FA movement, and I don't like what Bopo has turned into. Not a fan of it whatsoever. But the arguments that people make sometimes, especially men, about, you know, a movement that's almost predominantly female is always interesting to me, because at some point it always comes down to name calling and pointing out that they're unattractive and that men don't want to date fat women. It always comes down to that, and it's like, but that's really not the problem with fat acceptance, you know? But anyway, we'll get into it. Flight attendants are cool, Kitten Teff. You get to go places and see things, and you fly on a plane. Well, that's the thing, Renata. Like, the women are constantly talking about how they're getting fat shamed, and I don't know if men notice, but I think that's more of a societal, socialized thing. Like, women are hyper vigilant in general, just because that's how we grow up. And men don't grow up with that hypervigilance. If anything, they kind of grow up with a social obliviousness, which it must be nice. It must be nice to not constantly be worried about everything. Why did your high school biology room have that, Linda? Kid jokes aside, but why does, wow, you just blew my mind. Wow. There's our thing, so they're niche. Yeah. And I mean, there's obviously lesbian feeders, so guys, I think chicken, I think it's a social thing. I think guys are just socialized, especially here in America. I guess I'm just going to speak to America, and I think that applies to like Britain and probably Australia too, but in Canada, but I'm going to speak mostly about us. I think men are just socialized to not care, where women are socialized to care about everything. And it's not necessarily a man brain versus female brain thing. It's very much a socialization thing. It's nurture versus nature. So, because I think in cultures where this kind of shit doesn't matter as much, you don't see people worried about it as much. Yeah, that's an insane high school. Yeah, smug. It's not an insult. It's just an observation. There are, I mean, and again, there's exceptions to every rule. There are guys who worry about every fucking little thing because they do. That's just how they work. And there are women who give no Fs. I'm not one of them. It must be nice. I do wonder what it's like to be that kind of person, honestly. To just wake up one day and be like, it's a wonderful day, and worry about nothing all day. Like, that must be just very liberating. That's taking it a step. Chicken, that's my family would at least go out behind the shed. Yeah, Alyssa, that is also an observation that I've had. As I don't know the trans experience, I can't really speak too much into it, but there is something to be said about being raised a certain way and then changing later in life. So, I don't know, like, that's the thing, like, just transitioning later in life from female to male, like, do you get the freedom that, like, a biological male would get in society? Or do you get, like, a whole new set of shit? You know? Right, exactly, Victoria. I worry planes of effect. Alright, let's get started with this guy. I hate his intro, by the way, but whatever. It hurts my eyes. Let me know if he's too loud. Never mind, you can't even hear him. Let's try this again.
As a fat.
There we go. Excuse me. All right.
During my months of exploring the swamps of health at every size as a fat man, I started to notice a large bias within the supposedly inclusive movement.
I've seen pictures of him. I wouldn't call him a fat man, but Let me know. Type a 1 if the sound is good. Type a 2 if it's too loud.
Women very heavily tip the scales in the world of fat acceptance, and this is evident in a number of ways. I realise that many of the individuals I watch or cover here are women, and to avoid accidentally perpetuating misogyny, I went looking for some haze men to slag off, only to discover that there basically aren't any. Body positivity in the traditional sense involves the acceptance of the features that make us imperfect, encouraging us to not judge our bodies so harshly and be comfortable in our own skin. This form of body positivity is the only thing I see being practiced by men, with male BOPO communities encouraging both self acceptance and self improvement.
I'd like to see a male BOPO space that uses those words. Just because I think a male BOPO space would look very much like any other male space on the internet, but again, not the pools I swim in. So I'm going to turn the CCs on. I'm not going to speed him up. His accent is just thick enough that I have an issue with. I have trouble with it. Squid Rat, you have what's called conditional male privilege. Once others know you're trans, it's gone. Yeah, that's what I wondered about. And Byung, you were saying that you were passing before you even got out of high school. Lots of burps and farts. Why are you calling me out, chicken? Anyway. There's this actually really, okay, completely randomly off topic-ish. There's this really great story that floats around the anthropology world where there was a... I don't know how to do this. There was a woman who transitioned into a man while they were in academia. And I guess they spent like the first half of their academic life as a woman and then transitioned later, but continued the same research that they'd been doing, and they continued to present said research. And I guess there's a conversation while this person was presenting 1 year post-transition. Their colleague was in the audience, and they had someone lean over to them. The colleague had another person in the audience lean over to them and say, what is it? He's so much more thorough than his sister. I'm glad he took over her research. Not realizing that it was the exact same person. The only thing that had changed was the gender. And so it's kind of this really famous, it's this really famous example of like how people perceive men and women differently merely based on their outward presentation, right? It's all based on outward presentation. So this researcher was getting more accolades merely because they had transitioned, even though their research was exactly the same prior. And the only thing that had changed was their transition. And it's just like this really glowing example of like, even in academia, where we're supposed to be so much better than that, even in academia, we do this shit. You know, we perceive women as being lesser than men, even when it's the exact same thing. So anyway. Yeah, people don't even notice it's there, honestly. Yeah, the sexism. And yes, it was interesting. I've heard that too, Brioche. Men move out of your way once you're a man. If you're a woman, they like kind of stare you down. I like that kind of shit. I like to see I like playing chicken with people. I'm like, I will run into you. Pretty sure. Is it Jammy Dodger? Sorry, Fairy? Sounds about right. I transitioned at the end of undergrad and now I'm almost done with grad. Wow. That's interesting, Squid Rat. Well, see, it's just, you know, there you go. Isn't that a kick in the pants? You gave yourself a career a leg up just by transitioning. Does this surprise anyone? It's a little surprising just because the person who transitioned was in the same field, the same, like, nothing else had changed about their daily. They just had transitioned. So, like, hypothetically, the person in the audience who made the comment should have known, but they didn't. It is a wild experience, Smug. Oh yeah, Shelly. Yeah. Oh, diary. Yeah, that you want to really. I have opened doors just because I open doors. If I'm the first one through it, I'm opening the door. I have held doors open for men who refuse to walk through the door because I'm holding it for them. And it's even worse if I'm wearing a skirt that day. Wow, Squid Rat, that's awesome. Amazing. Not surprising, but amazing. Classroom's calling me. Yeah, when I'm online back in the day, people just assumed I was male. I didn't have a lot of like face stuff out there, so people just assumed I was male. And I tell you what, I got a lot more respect when people thought I was male. And oh my God, when they figured out I was female, it was the end of the goddamn world. Suddenly I was an ignorant bitch who didn't know anything. And that wasn't even intentional. Anyway, all right, onward.
Unlike the overly competitive and fat-focused female-centric BOPO movement, the male-centric forums focus on a range of insecurities such as height, build, hair loss, and disabilities. Which is great for me because at the minute, that's me. All of them, that is me. These spaces accept truly unchangeable factors such as those I just mentioned, but also highly encourage self-improvement, whether it be improving fitness, social skills, confidence, life skills, or appearance. Fat men.
See, I feel like this whole statement that he starts off with is that male BOPO spaces are encouraging and nurturing and inclusive, where female BOPO spaces are catty and bitchy. And are they though?
Men who are happy staying fat may also frequent these spaces, but unlike their female counterparts, they do not one-up each other with their so-called oppression or size, do not claim to be victims of fat phobia, and do not claim that class 3 obesity and above is healthy. Men may not be drawn to the raging identity politics of fat acceptance in high numbers, but there have been some prominent male advocates, and by some I mean one.
And he's going to actually talk about somebody you might recognize if you're a little bit more familiar with the history of like the online BOPO shit. But I can think of a completely different guy who was big in BOPO, and then also William, the weird guy that doesn't blink. That guy's weird. That guy's weird for a whole other set of reasons. But the guy who I don't know how many of you watch Cynical Dude, but he used to do a series of what was it? Tell me how you've pissed off thin people today, or ticked off thins Tuesdays. And it started off with a guy. It was a guy who did it, and he was like, tell me how you've been, it was something like, tell me how you've been discriminated against as a fat person, basically. And then people would just stitch it in and answer. It's a whole series on his channel anyway. But that was a guy. That was a guy who led that. So there's at least two other men that I can think of, but like the other two identifying male people that I can think of are both transitioning. So we still go back to that other argument of like, maybe it's a socialization thing. But this guy's going to bring up a totally different guy who isn't part of the movement anymore. Doesn't mean he doesn't believe in the stuff. He's just not part of the movement anymore, and he'll explain why. I do miss that series, Chicken, but I mean, he kind of ran that one into the ground. That Sapphic Bro, I believe, is transitioning. Or is non-binary. I don't honestly follow Fat Sapphic Bro close enough to know the answer to that one, because Fat Sapphic Bro pisses me off. Anyway. Yeah, the fattest thing you've ever done, dude, though, that's not necessarily fat positivity. He was just wanting to know what the fattest thing you ever did was. And there were some really good stories. William Hornby. Yeah, that's the guy that doesn't blink.
I could only find one male fat activist, and he hasn't been publicly active in about 10 years.
And this isn't counting the men who started fat acceptance. We're not talking about those guys. This is the current movement, the modern movement.
Achka was a man who ran a blog called Fiercely Active in about 10 years. Achka was a man who ran a blog called Fierce Free-Thinking Fatties, spouting Hayes garbage all day long. Even though he played by all of the Hayes community rules, said what they wanted to hear, and was fat enough to be allowed into the Chub Club, his own community turned on him in the end. Marianne Curvey is a white woman who considers herself to be the epitome of white ally to people of colour, posting now deleted smug articles about how other white people should aim to become as enlightened on racial issues as she is. I bring this up because she used her ignorant and reductive view of people of colour as a weapon to discredit and banish Achka from the world of Hayes. This all started when he passed comment on a Georgia hospital's ad campaign that focused on the dangers of childhood obesity, stirring up the usual sludge of buzzwords and outrage. Since fat activism is all about identity-based oppression Olympics, he was quickly shot down for not taking into account every single thread spun into the web of fat intersectionality.
I'm not entirely sure what PolitiRants is talking about there exactly. I can kind of guess, but he's being a little too purple prosy. Hornby never blinks. Yeah, it was a professor something or other, Joanna. Now I'm thinking about it. What was his name? I feel like I know it now, but anyway. PolitiRants is correct that like fat acceptance is identity based. It's an identity based movement because you identify as being part of fat acceptance. You're not, regardless of what they want you to believe. They're not actually an oppressed minority. So everything that they do is basically identity based. And he's not wrong when he implies that the majority of the people involved in the fat acceptance as we know it are white women, because they are. And it's not lost on me that all of the men that I can think of who are in fat acceptance are all white men as well. Like that's not lost on me. So it's a it's a very white movement is what I'm trying to say, which is why when they try to scream minority status, it's just even more ridiculous, but here we are. Is the video guy a chud? I don't know what that means. I'm going to try to not use like derogatory slang, even if it's funny. You feel like a lot of guys that lean this way. Don't know what you mean, Travis, but I think I do, because I have to agree with Broche. Guys who make these kind of videos do tend to have like a common view, world view. Let me put it that way. There you are, you little bugger. Give me a second. Gotcha. Yeah, I gotcha. And now my computer screen's dirty. Fabulous. Professor Brain Fever. There we go. Thank you, Erica. He was the one that started the TikTok stitches. White women is not a slur. I'm sorry. Obesity is not a slur either. He said chuddy things. I don't know what that is. Again, I don't swim in these pools. I don't know what that is. There are some TikTokers who never blink and they just have dead shark eyes to the camera. I don't think it's that they don't blink. I think it's just the way they edit it. Professor Brain Fever. The only part of him I ever saw was that TikTok trend that he started. Fat acceptance is a direct backlash to the ultra skinny body standards for white women in the 90s and aughts, so it doesn't surprise me. It is not, Lee, it is not that. They'll tell you it is, but that's not actually why it got started. The fat acceptance movement was started by, I think, 3 different white dudes who were fat admirers. And they started fat acceptance because they wanted to meet fat women. And the bigger the better. So it started off as a fetish community. So. Oh, okay. Thank you, Squid Rat. Positive spaces. Like there's a difference between body positivity, which was meant to be a, hey, you can't help this, you might as well have a positive outlook on the way you look because there's nothing you can do about it, kind of a thing. And it really was aimed at people who had like severe visual differences, you know, people missing limbs, fire victims. I think one of the spokeswomen for it for a long time was a woman that had been attacked and had acids thrown in her face, and so obviously there was some damage there. But she was one of the spokespeople for it for a long time, and then it somehow got absorbed into fat acceptance and has become all about, you know, you have to like fat people no matter what, and fat isn't a bad word, and obesity's a slur, and yada yada yada. Yes, they were chubby chasers. We were fat in the 90s too, though. It was just starting. I think, yeah, it started in like the 70s? Pardon me. Yeah, JPBD. Yeah, what they said. Oh, is he still active? Is Professor Brain Fever still active? I should get on TikTok and track some of these people down. Time to concentrate now. Okay, it was 70s. Yeah, I think it was the late 70s. There's been a couple deep dives into the creation of the fat acceptance movement, which is why I haven't done one, but I guess since I was looking at the videos the other day and they're both like over a year old, so I think maybe I could do one and it wouldn't be that bad. Being readily on board with FA is related to that time period, though. Would not believe you if you told them. No, they probably would not. Super sync. I'm going to stop there. No, they probably would not, because they don't want to believe that that's the start. They want to believe that fat acceptance was started by some mythical group of queer fat POCs, even though you literally cannot track those people down. Like, they don't even have names. They're these mythical creations that exist in the ether, and we're just supposed to accept that they are. Normally when a movement is started by people, they have names. Like, even if they're queer and black and disabled, they have names. And since they can't even come up with names of who these people, these supposed starters of this movement are, telling me that they're not. And they're all just repeating this weird myth without fact checking it, because they don't fact check anything. In the 90s when yeah, well.
One such critic was actually a woman of colour, which Achka didn't know at the time, and he actually took her criticism fairly well and asked her if she'd like to help him improve his campaign. To me, I don't see what's wrong with this, and I find it refreshing to see a fat activist taking criticism on board and working to improve their rhetoric. Marianne did not feel the same, and fanned the flames of the angry fat community, hurling allegations of racism and misogyny. Apparently, Achka being willing to take on board the opinions of others made him a racist, homophobic bigot who was demanding the intellectual labour of black women since he supposedly needed instruction on how to act.
I think, actually, I would have liked, this is one of those cite your sources situations. I would have liked for him to have put up screenshots of what he has clearly read. Like, he obviously has access to this interaction somewhere between Achka and this woman, and how this woman went after Achka. I think I'm saying his name right. Anyway, it would be very useful, and it would back his story up quite a bit if he could put screenshots up of the conversation between them, and especially of this woman going after Achka. Because him just saying that that's what she said, I'm not saying he's wrong, but these are very inflammatory accusations and typically need something to back them up in order for them to hold water, because they are very damning. This is not language that you use on people who are your friends, or I hope that's not. So it would just help this argument a whole lot, because right now it's just a trust me bro story. And he's just got two pictures of two people. They could be anybody. You know, I could probably reverse face search this and find who these two people were. But the point is right now, it's just a trust me bro story. And he's like, just trust me, bro. This whole thing happened. And it's like, yeah, but where's the evidence? I mean, the Wayback Machine exists. Some of this has to be on there because it's so inflammatory. People have been watching the fat acceptance movement for a while. So that would help out a lot. Does he have it in his links? No, he does not. All right. The only thing he's got is a link to his book. So it would be nice to see that kind of citation, or a link, something to back this up, like literally cite your sources. So otherwise it's kind of hard to just kind of take. In fact, I distinctly remember a scene from another documentary where they showed a beauty pageant from the 50s, specifically for fat women. Interesting. That doesn't surprise me. The 50s were wild. Yeah, fat activism is inherently anti-feminist.
Marianne also began to shame anybody who liked the guy and entered every forum that he frequented to tell everyone what an evil monster he was.
See, I believe that could happen.
That Achka was only as demonized and nitpicked as he was, simply because he was a man. Misandry is a...
See, and he says here, it's widely accepted that Achka was attacked because he was a man. And now he's going to go into this weird conversation about misandry, which is another one of those red flags for me. I don't think misandry doesn't exist. It's just the way he talks about it. Anyway, where was I going with this? It would be very helpful if he could show discussions talking about, oh, you're only going after him because he's a guy, or a series of posts from her that very much show that she's basically going after him because he's a dude. I mean, you can tell, you know? So that would be very helpful. This dictionary definition of what misandry is really, I mean, I don't need this. What I need is actual evidence to back up what you're saying. I guess that's why I'm like so fence sitting on these videos. I can believe this happened. I just need to also be able to see it to back it up. Like, I can't just go out there and be like, yeah, this one time on this dude's video, who's, I don't even know who the guy is. he said such and such a thing about such and such a thing, and that's all the evidence I have about that ever happening. That's how you look like an idiot on the internet. The 50s were wild. I don't know what we were doing in the 50s. I don't think we knew what we were doing in the 50s. Yeah, thank you, Brioche. I think he does say they are not the same. He does say something very interesting here that I was not expecting him to say. But anyway, let's get to it, and I'll stop when I hear it.
It's a very contentious topic, which is due to be expected due to the fact that it's nuanced. Misandry, the hatred of men, is neither equal nor opposite to misogyny.
I think that's an interesting thing to say, that misandry is neither equal nor opposite to misogyny. He's stating that it is a thing, but it is not the counter of misogyny, which is an interesting... I don't hear people say that very often, but again, I don't swim in these pools, so you guys crack me up. Tyra Banks was a product of her generation. Please stop making sense. I worry about misandry is when it's turned on. Yeah, see, but there's a really good argument there, Travis, that that's not even misandry, that's misogyny. Misogyny's insidious. Now, I do believe misandry exists, don't get me wrong. If you're going after somebody just because he's a dude, and that's literally the only reason you're going after somebody... Anyway.
Hatred of women. Both are products of the same culture, and I actually talk about this in my book if anyone's interested. Men's rights activists may believe that misandry is worse and far more prevalent than misogyny, whereas other people don't even believe misandry exists whatsoever.
And here's where the red flags start. Men's rights activists say that it's worse than misogyny, and then other people who I will not identify...
In the Hayes sphere, though, it definitely does. There are a few common sentiments within this community that not only drive men away, but objectify and vilify them. For those of you who haven't seen my video on the fat activist to turf horseshoe theory,
that was the first video of his that I watched, and I was just like... I don't like fat activism. I don't know if I'm willing to go out on that branch. I don't think that's a branch I'm wanting to like touch with a 10-foot pole, but he decided to make that connection and he thinks he made a good argument for it, and I'm just like, oof. I don't know, man. I would not try to connect those two just because you don't like fat activists and you claim you don't like TERFs and then make these videos. Anyway.
This may be a good time to check that out, as I'm sure you'll notice a great deal of overlap in terms of the attitudes and behaviours towards men. The fat activists' identity not nature allows them to only think in black and white absolutes. Anybody who isn't as oppressed as they are is automatically an oppressor. Since the majority...
See, and there, I don't disagree with him. He's... like, this is what bugs me. I don't disagree with him there. They do view themselves as being oppressed. They do wear that as a badge. It's more like a shield. And yeah, people who don't agree with them or who don't fit a fat activist mold are the enemy, period, in a discussion, right? You can even be supporting them, and if you're not the right kind of fat, you're still the enemy. Like, how dare you speak for me? All right. Have fun over in that corner by yourself. Cute your sources. Exactly, Erica. Cute your damn sources. No, I know what you were saying. I'm sorry. I just think it's funny. You don't think it's that deep? He does. I honestly think he tried to make that video and tried to do that connection because he knew it would be inflammatory. And I think he was just trying to like stir shit. I don't know if he did. His videos are not incredibly popular, and his channel is very small. That doesn't mean that he's got bad videos or that he's an uninteresting person. It just means he hasn't gotten out there yet. Yeah, exactly, BJ. Well, yeah, no, it's Squid Rat. He does try to make that connection between the fat acceptance, the women in fat acceptance, and with TERFs. So, I don't know, you might like that video. I don't know, maybe I can't remember which one it was, though, and he doesn't put a link to it. I think it was the second video he did. It was either the first or the second video he did about fat acceptance on his channel. I cannot remember exactly which one it was. Hey, Ruby's back. MRAs have the exact same "I'm the most oppressed" attitude, though. That's what I thought, too. Because all of them that I've seen, I mean, we could... I'm not going to because I don't want that attention. But you could really put together like a men's rights cringe compilation, and it's going to look very similar to any of the other cringe compilations that you put together. It's still going to be whiny people whining about shit that's actually their fault, and they refuse to take responsibility for it. Therefore, it's everybody else's fault. It's the same shit. It's just a different title. Yeah, not my tale. You're not wrong.
Fat activists are women who blame all of their problems on the fat-phobic patriarchy. Any and all men are turned into villains. The brand of feminism that is most commonly employed in Hayes circles not only demonises men, but women who are more attractive than they are, women who are more able than they are, or women who are more successful they are. Where the turf punches down, the fat activist punches up. By taking a narrow and partisan view of patriarchy,
I'm wrapping my head around this one. Sorry, give me a second. Punching up is good. You're supposed to punch up. Punching down is bad. That's why you call people on it. Anyway, we shouldn't be punching at all. Again, I'm not necessarily completely against what he's saying here, but his whole dismissal of the patriarchy, like I hear that a lot from this circle of thinkers, and it's just like, the patriarchy. Do you even know what the patriarchy is supposed to be? I think the same thing about fat activists, though. They're always like, oh, the patriarchy. Do you even know what you're talking about? Please stop making me look bad. But it's that kind of shit, though. It's just like they're just throwing the word out there because they don't believe it, and they think it's an easy excuse for why women are being stupid, without actually realizing that the whole point of the patriarchy is that, yeah, as a man, you don't notice it. That's the point. That's why it's called the patriarchy, not the matriarchy. Anyway. Misandry. That'd be pretty funny, actually. Art and Soul. Punchy. I need a punchy. Yeah, J-Bay punches up. Your mom has never seen an athletic body before? Wow. This guy needs to watch Barbie. Oh my god, I gave my feeder away for you. That is hilarious. Get why watch Barbie meet gays. Yeah, Teddy Pig. You're dry. I think actually there was a... Was it in Indiana or was it here that I went... Well, I've gone to drag shows in both. I can't remember. Somebody was actually named Misandry. And it took me all damn night to figure that one out, to be perfectly honest with you, because my head just wasn't in the right space for it. You guys flirting in the chat.
Both fat activists and TERFs can reaffirm their own idiotic opinions by only complaining about the parts that inconvenience them, ignoring the bigger picture that proves they aren't really the victims they claim to be. It is
he's not wrong
true that
there.
misogyny plays a role in perpetuating unrealistic beauty standards or trends, but what the fat activist ignores is that it is usually women who are perpetuating them.
That doesn't mean it's not misogyny. That's the problem. That's where the patriarchy comes in.
Magazine writers, social media snarkers, relationally aggressive bullies, and untruthful influencers who throw the most shade onto women over their appearances are mostly all women. For all that fat activists complain about beauty standards, they also perpetuate them.
And I'm one of the first people to say fat activism is inherently anti-feminist because it's just another way to turn women against women. And it is catty and it is bad. So, yeah, I agree with him there. But it's not because of misandry. It is literally because of the patriarchy. The fat activists are anti-feminist because of the patriarchy. They are upholding the male gaze, even though they're rallying against. They're saying, no, we're not. And it's like, yeah, you are, though. You are the ones who are constantly comparing yourselves and others to what you deem is society's ideal feminine, and you find yourself and others lacking, and you attack people who get close to that, what you think is the ideal. The closer a woman gets to that ideal, the more you go after her, right? It's anti-feminist. Internalized misogyny. Yeah, I mean, that's a real thing. Mojo Dojo. I don't necessarily think this... Okay, look, I don't think this guy's a bad person, so I don't want to be giving off those vibes. I just, again, when we get into certain topics, Omegon's the same way. They just don't really get... They don't understand. And since they haven't really done the research into it, or the study into it, it's hard for them to understand because unlike with women who have a lived experience, men don't. So it's harder for men to understand when a woman says, yada, 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 right? Like, you know, I got turned down for a job and I think it's because I'm a woman. And then guys are like, maybe you're just not qualified. I mean, maybe I'm not. But it's really sus that I got completely turned down for it, even though I know my credentials are good enough for the job. Right? Even though I've literally had people tell me they wouldn't hire me because I'm female. We don't hire women. Cool. Don't want to work for you anyway, then. Good to know. Sweary. Yeah. And then there's Anna. Look, sometimes the problem is you. Sometimes it's not the fat. Most of these women who are like, men won't date me. It's not because you're fat, bae. It's not the fat. It's the attitude. Guys just don't like that attitude because they're almost always straight women too. Guys just don't like that attitude. I don't think lesbians like that attitude. Just throwing it out there. I don't know, Squid Rat. It's good for everybody to give their input. It doesn't necessarily mean they're correct, but it's good to know where everybody's standing because you know where to start, right? If you don't know where this guy stands, you have no idea where to start with the argument, with the counter argument. Does it mean I have to agree with him? No. Does it mean he's necessarily like informed? No, that's kind of the point. Does it mean not this guy, but someone else could be spouting like really hateful shit? Yeah, you kind of want to know that before you go in. Like, do you really want to waste your time and energy on somebody who's just a hateful POS? You know? Yeah, jobs don't hire women sometimes, Catsy. I don't know if you knew that. Sometimes there's a good reason. A lot of times there is not. Yeah, I don't know why she has to be so weird all the time. Gay sexual men. Wait, what? Yeah, no, yeah, brioche. As long as you're not like getting in people's faces with it, which is unfortunately what a lot of fat activists do. I mean, I want to know your opinion. I may not agree with it. And there are times when I'm like, I don't want to deal with anything right now. Please go away. But most of the time I'm up for a good conversation. Joanna, once I've been turned down for a job because of you were female, but that was a chemical factory where they were worried about fertile women for possible damage. I think that's a decision you should have made. Also understanding the consequences thereof, but I don't think Anna understands how weird she comes off, yeah. Cis men give you trust issues. Yes.
You will likely have seen countless posts talking about how thin women are evil and soulless, and how you are not a real woman unless you have curves or are fat. Thin or normal-sized women are frequently called unattractive and compared to children, and anybody who finds them attractive is called a pedo.
Yeah, he's not wrong. I've seen that. I've seen fat activists argue that the reason why men are attracted to thin women is because of their childlike appearance, and that's just gross. Why would you even go there? And that says a lot about the person making that argument. Like, that's just gross. And then to paint an entire group of anyone, just an entire group of people, saying that if you find thin bodies attractive, you're a child admirer? I don't. Yeah, it's very icky. He offered to pee standing up if it made him more comfortable. It was an archaeology firm, and he was implying that women aren't strong enough and good enough to do the level of work that men are. He was a very small firm. So I think he only had like 6 employees. He did have one female employee, but she was his secretary. I'm just catching up on the chat real fast.
Women who are not fat enough for their liking are also shamed for being fake fat activists.
See, and this is true. Again, though, I know this is true because I've experienced it. I've seen this myself. However, it really would help the argument that he's making if he could put screenshots up or, links, something that backs up what he's saying instead of just a quippy piece of clip art there. I mean, yeah, it's funny and I've seen similar things, but literal screenshots of conversations that are happening not only shows me that he did the research, right? That he went into these communities and he tried to find these things to show us, but also it allows people who aren't doing that to at least see that these things are actually being said. Also understanding shit can be faked, right? You can fake anything on the internet nowadays. So you got to keep that in mind, but it really would help his argument a lot here if he would cite his sources. And I probably wouldn't have so many. It would actually eliminate my ability to nitpick his argument if he had evidence and sources, because I'd have to go check those first before I can be like, yeah, nah, that's wrong. But if there were screenshots, we wouldn't be able to see the water. It is a nice waterfall. It is a very lovely picture. Yeah, Erica, exactly. Oh, Teddy Pig, I want to meet your aunt. Who's your aunt? Do you know how rare Native American archaeologists are? Women are stronger than men want to believe they are. That's the main problem, Travis.
Anybody who loses weight is accused of being a pick-me, an agent of the patriarchy, or a fatphobic, racist, homophobic bigot.
Again, he's not wrong. But since these are such inflammatory terms, and these accusations are so strong, you really need evidence to back this shit up.
As well as bullying and misinformation, fat activists specialise in sexualisation and objectification of both men and women. Thin women are treated like sex objects who exist just to service evil, patriarchal, fit men who are apparently spinning all of the plates, and their thoughts or emotions are treated as non-existent. For example, here's a Tumblr post because, of course, it's Tumblr.
Is Tumblr even a thing anymore? Like, no offense. And there's no... Really gotta do better than this, man. I need a date, or at least something like 2 weeks old, or something. I don't know. Tumblr? Says, listen, Lizzo is great representation for fat people, and all, but I'm sick of people saying, quote, this is a real woman, end quote, and that real women don't look like thin celebrities, but I do, as if thin people aren't women. I'm sick of being made to feel like everyone hates me because I'm thin. It's so upsetting. I think he reads this, and I'll let him play out. Yeah, but do people actually, like, use it? I mean, he can source Tumblr. I just would like a date.
To avoid making people pause to read the text posts, I'm going to be doing some dramatic readings for all the important ones in the future videos.
His dramatic reading is both funny and demeaning, but here we go. Oh, can somebody explain what a turf is to Ruby, please? Because I don't want to do it on the video. Ah, she worked out at the Nazca lines? Oh, Teddy Pig, you're like spiking all of my interest points here. Please tell me she's not an aliens person, though. That'll bug me.
Anonymous said, listen, Lizzo is great representation for fat people, but I'm sick of people saying that this is a real woman and that real women don't look like thin celebrities, but I do. As if thin people aren't women. I'm sick of being made to feel like everyone hates me because I'm thin. It's so upsetting. The owner of the blog then gave the mature and empathetic response of, wow, I'm thin like celebrities and the fat ladies are pressing me. Wow! I have no words.
Oppressing isn't the word I'm looking for, because oppression has a lot of loadedness in it, but definitely like quieting, talking over, dismissing. That's not necessarily oppression, though they are symptoms of oppression. For me, oppression's like a lot deeper.
Not only do fat activists vilify and objectify thin women, they do the same to men. If anything, they're slightly worse towards the men, getting into full-blown creep mode at the drop of a hat.
I was gonna say something. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. Anyway, if you watch Cynical Dude, another person who I enjoy the hell out of, but again, sometimes when he starts talking about feminism and female issues. Anyway, but he talks about this, and he's got some really great examples, actually, of fat acceptance objectifying men, the women in fat acceptance, like objectifying men, especially straight women, objectifying any man, straight, gay, bi. I'm trying. I lost my train of thought there. I was distracting myself. Anyway, but it is a thing in fat acceptance, and they've been called on it a lot. I've even called them out for it, because if you've lived through the 90s or any space before that and you are not straight, you will remember, well, can't you just not be gay? And other nefarious shit like that, where the fat acceptance women are like, you should date fat women because you just don't know it, but you're actually attracted to fat women. I'm pretty sure I know what I'm attracted to at this point in my life. Just saying. You usually figure that out pretty early in life. But it's just that kind of militant, you should date fat people because you just don't know that you're attracted to fat people, and society's just telling you that you're not attracted to fat people, and if you dated a fat person, then you'd be converted over to being a fat lover, whatever. And it's just like, okay. I lost friends in the 90s, okay? Hi, baby. Coming back? Poocha, poocha. Why don't you go purr for me? Are you? No? What are we doing? You gonna go walk on my phone? All right, just don't text anybody. They can't see you over there. Oh, what a good girl. Look at you hopping in your chair. We are learning. Learned. Here. Look at you sitting in your chair. Yeah, it is a good girl. You gonna lay in the chair or are you gonna keep bugging me? Alright. Cat distracted me. I don't remember where I'm at. Oh, yeah. Comparing fat activism's need for you to date fat people with the 90s trying to convert gay people to being straight again. There, I said it. Hi! Love you. Thanks. Don't eat that. It's slime. You won't like it. And now we're looking for things to knock off the desk. Anyway, thank you. I love you. You are the sweetest baby. Yes, we have to pause for a minute. Kitty butt dialing. She does. She texts people sometimes. She turns my alarm off on my phone. She's figured out how the touchscreen works. She's very smart. Probably doesn't help that we trained her with those cat screen games that they had when she was a baby. So she understands how the screen works. Don't you? I walked into this. Oh, no, not my tail. It's not lost on me that most of them appear to be... Now, it is appear to be middle class, but yeah, it's not lost on me. The catwalk. Oh, yeah. You going? Bye. All right. We are being ignored again. Anyway, but yeah, you can... Some really good examples of fat acceptance completely objectifying men and demanding attention from men is Cynical Dude covers that a lot. I'm trying to think somebody else really does it well too. And the name is what is her name? Oh no. Crap, I'll try to remember. It'll come to me. She's one of the smaller channels. She's like a faceless channel, and she's made a lot of fat acceptance stuff over the years, and she's one of the channels that did the history of fat acceptance. Crap, it starts with an N. Nadia Nymph something? Crap. I've watched her for years, guys. Anyway, she points that out a lot too, how the women in fat acceptance are basically demanding that men, especially fit men, date them. So they want a conventionally attractive, healthy male to date them, but they don't seem to think that that's something a man would also want to date, right? A conventionally attractive, healthy, fit woman. Like tends to attract like. I know it may sound shallow, but that's the thing. We tend to outwardly project the thing that we want to draw to ourselves. So if you're a gym rat, you probably want to date a gym rat. It's just kind of how it works. Anyway.
This post demonstrates these attitudes pretty well, and I probably won't show too many of these posts since there are tons of them. Hey, my fellow fat positive babes. I just wanted to show you the type of guy you deserve.
Yeah, Sam at Every Size has done some, but it's not... I wasn't thinking of Sam. Fundy Times also has done it. But I don't think Fundy Times has made a video in almost a year at this point. But yeah, Sam's pointed out how fucking creepy the fat acceptance is more than once, too. Yeah, Nadia, she didn't used to show herself chicken. I think that's a new thing. I do like her walking videos, though. It's kind of nice. Oh, she followed me on Instagram. Travis, it's okay to be. It's not always that way. How big is the kitty? That cat is 8 pounds. I have her brother is 14 pounds last time I weighed him, and the tabby cat is down to 13.8. I would like him to be closer to just straight 13, but it is what it is. Well, Nat, I don't know if that's necessarily true, because there are people who are attracted to cars. So, I don't buy the biological or the evolutionary argument simply because I vaguely understand how both the biology and evolution work. And yeah, if that were true, we wouldn't have gay people. So, people are going to be attracted to what they find attractive, and why you find that attractive. Typically, I don't know, man. There's a lot of really good arguments, and there's a lot of really bad ones. But you usually know what you're attracted to by the time you're an adult. So, and no, telling me to just not be attracted to something is not going to make me not attracted to it. Cyclops in a cat suit. It's amazing. She's got a brother. That's the little 8-pound one. She's a one out of 7, and we rescued the whole litter, so I know all of these cats. She has a sister that's 25 pounds, perfectly healthy, and she's got a brother that I think is around 20. Again, perfectly healthy. They've got a Maine Coon ragdoll mixed to them, so they're like giant cats. They're just massive cats. Her brother could have been that big, the white cat that I've got, but I don't know. Either he wasn't supposed to be that big in the first place, or I stunted his growth when he was a baby, but either way. Yeah, I mean, if you consider population maintenance, but that's not what goes through people's heads when they see... I would imagine that, like, as I am bi, I can't speak to being straight, purely gay, but when I look at another woman, I'm not like, oh yeah, I'm going to maintenance the population with that one. It's not what goes through my head. I'm either attracted to her or I'm not. So there are people that find Anna hot, though. Anna is not... I can see how Anna would, A, fall into conventionally attractive, especially in the face, and she's very fortunate with the way that her weight distributes on her body. And B, there are plenty of men in her comments telling her how attractive she is, so, 18 pounds at one point. Yeah, Maine Coons can get big. Aw, age tops. Some people like what they're gonna like. I'm the wrong person for relationship advice, apparently, but, people like what they like. Anna... Anna and her acedom is something we have to take at her word. Aw, H-tops, you get out there. You get out there and you get some confidence and you go talk to the pretty girls. You talk to the hot guys, too. One of them will find you attractive, I promise. Anna at one point said that she thought that she was more asexual than anything because we've never seen her in a relationship, and I think she hasn't been in a relationship since college. So... Oh, it's okay, Squid Rat. It's fine. I'm not always clear, either. Yeah, people like who they like, and it's fine. It's not okay to demand that people for people to like other things. Yeah, I mean, you like what you like. It is what it is. Hopefully you find somebody who likes you back. The floor seal. You guys and your cats. We're generally, yeah, we are generally not always attracted to healthy people. I think it's the anthropologist in me that's like, no, that can't always be true. But it's not necessarily wrong either. So, you know, ignore me is kind of where I'm saying on that one. But do remember there are people who are literally attracted to objects. So, there was a guy who married a cardboard cutout. And I hope they are happy together. You know? The floor troll. Alright, anyway, let's get back to this.
Just because you may not be as conventionally attractive doesn't mean a man like this won't love you. Now, if a guy can't see past your rolls of fat, it just means he may be insecure about dating a beautiful goddess like you. Don't be afraid to go out and get a fit man, because opposites do attract sometimes. Also, since weight is entirely genetic, a man.
It is not. It's not. Sorry, it's not. Just isn't. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news. It's not. Also, yeah, I mean, go out there. If you find gym guys hot, go hit on gym guys. One of them will find you attractive. You know? Fish in your pond. But go find you a hot guy if that's what you want to date. You might have to look a lot. You may have to turn over several rocks. It may take a while, but I guarantee you, you will find somebody. I have not seen Lars and the... I have not seen that. I don't even know what that is. Is that a movie? Travis, yeah. Anna doesn't go to therapy to unpack anything, though. Are the cars that people are attracted to fit? I don't know. What does that mean? It's had an oil change recently. That's amazing. Oh, no. Well, I mean, I wouldn't pick somebody up at the gym just because I'm not there to flirt, but if there are people flirting with you at the gym and you are into it, you knock yourself out. There are young men who are very attracted to older women, and people are always like, oh, that's weird. And it's like, that is it, though? I mean, we don't blink when young women are attracted to older men. Why would it be any different? And it's not... And that kind of like blows the whole like, oh, they're looking for healthy, fertile women to mate with. They're not. They're attracted to older women who are often, I mean, there's a reason why the term cougar exists, right? They're women who are outside of their childbearing years or getting close to them usually. And young guys are attracted to that sometimes. It serves no biological purpose. So it just kind of ruins that argument for me. Same thing with like the older girl, or sorry, younger women being attracted to older men. Older guys can get them pregnant, but it's more difficult for the older you get, the harder it is, right? So if we're really doing the whole like, oh, she's looking for, you know, a genetically fit, healthy male, why is she going for a 50-year-old? You know, she might genuinely be attracted to him. Same thing with the guys. It's just what they like. Now, please, can we all date within, you know, the right age range? Make sure everybody is legally an adult. So, let us caveat that, please. Sometimes I think they like projects. Aw. I don't know. Take them out on a date or two. Have them take you on a date or two. Go out. Get to know each other. You never know. You might have a lot in common. And some young men just want a dommy mommy. But still attracted to older women. Yeah, flirting is fun and doesn't need to lead to other things. Brioche. Yes, that was what I was going at. Let us all say thank you for young men who flirt with older ladies. I'm not gonna lie, it's fun. It's weird, but it's fun. It's not really scandalous, chicken. Smug Tom ruined you. I couldn't have them talk in bed. You're cute till you start talking. Ah, that might be true, Roche. I'm sure there are just as equally icky women, too. I mean, it goes both ways. You're a cougar. That's funny. I'm technically, I think I'm like... Am I 4 months older? I am the older one in the relationship by a few months. Only an 8-year difference, you funny. "27 is still young, Travis." 33 is still young. Alright, anyway, let's finish this.
And discriminating based on weight is the same as discriminating by gender or race. There's an awful lot to unpack here. The first part of this was based somewhat in reality since it acknowledged the fact that superfats aren't conventionally attractive, which is a very low bar, but many fat activists still manage to trip. By not pretending that morbidly obese women are the most attractive and beautiful goddesses in the world, I can give them some credit. Oh, wait, maybe not. If a man doesn't want to date you, it's because he's insecure about himself. There's no such thing as a preference. If you don't find someone attractive, it's because they're making you feel insecure. By this logic, why do fat women suddenly deserve a fit man? Surely they're also insecure bigots if they feel entitled to fit men and not fat ones. Also, the use of the word fit is pretty weird, since they claim that obesity has nothing to do with health or fitness. The use of words such as goddess is fairly typical of fat activist blog posts, eliciting further ideas of divinity and thus entitlement to mere lowly men. To drive the point home even more, the author then makes idiotic statements to try and make men who don't find them attractive look like bigots. You know, at this point, I basically need a bingo card. We've got the usual garbage, such as equating thin men not wanting to shag fat women with racism and sexism. We've got mindless and indignant claims that obesity is not just genetically influenced, but entirely genetic, and the word discrimination. I did say I won't be
Travis.
including too many of
You guys are killing me over here. I'm not reading these out loud, but I am reading them. Oh, Molly, I'm sorry. Feel better. I don't know, man. Read the comments section, man. That'll get you laughing, and laughter's good. Laughter's the best medicine, right? That burps for you, that might have a lot to do with it, honestly. I think hygiene is definitely an attraction factor. Presentation is always going to affect attraction level. Like, I think somebody earlier said, you know, confidence is one of the most attractive traits you can have. It's true. So, oh, I don't assume that squid rat. But I've known more than one trans man, so let me put it that way. This isn't the only circle I swim in. Let me put it that way. Yeah, Midori, it sounds like guys thinking a woman is a lesbian only because she's not interested in him. No, I'm just not interested in you. If you're my option, then yes, I am a lesbian. People who have the lowest standards for themselves tend to have the highest standards in others. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I can see that. There you go.
These, but I just couldn't resist putting in this one. It would win you a full house in a game of buzzword bingo. If you only think thin women are attractive,
I don't.
or you only ever reblog images of thin women.
Okay, here's before I will let him finish. Here's my issue though. What is this person's definition of thin? Because according to the fatness scale, I'm not even on it. And I am medically obese. My BMI is 34. And yet, so according to fat acceptance, I'm a thin. I'm not. So who is this person talking about? So if I'm reblogging images of women who are size 12, which used to be plus size, am I only ever reblogging images of thin women? What about men?
Or you mostly do. Maybe investigate that. Oh, so people aren't allowed to have types or aesthetic preferences? Of course we are. But when our types are...
Not my tail. Stop it. Please keep in mind, there could be children in the chat. Please, 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 please keep the chat, don't say things on here that you can't say in polite public.
align as strongly with Western imperialist patriarchal ideals as traits like
you get
white
that
or
Western
thin or
imperialism.
young or feminine, then we
because no other culture on the planet has ever considered thinness attractive except for white Western culture. Because that's the only culture that apparently exists in the world. There has never been another culture on this entire planet that idealizes thinness or sees it as a marker of health or thinks fatness is bad. No other culture except for white Western culture. Do you even know what you mean when you're saying that, by the way? Anyway, my rant be done. Because, the entire continent of Asia does not exist. And Africa... Pfft. And do they qualify South American cultures as being white westernized? Because sometimes that happens. And I mean, Native Americans, do those people even exist anymore? White Western standards of beauty. That's all that ever was. I hate people like this. This is one of the reasons why I hate fat acceptance. Nothing exists in the world except their own experience. Therefore, everyone must be the same way. Everyone must think the same way they think. And this just tells me more about how this individual thinks than it tells me about anything else, right? This person thinks only thin white women are found attractive, which means they probably only find thin white women attractive, right? And this whole concept of Western imperialistic patriarchal ideas. Have you ever looked anywhere other than the internet? Like, there are other cultures on this planet that are not Western imperialist patriarchal cultures that are older than most white cultures who have found thinness and slimness to be more attractive than obesity. And when they're talking about obesity, these ancient cultures that apparently never existed before, when they're talking about obesity, they're talking like 200 pounds, maybe 300 pushing it. They're not talking about these 600 pounders. That didn't exist until recently. Anyway.
We should probably, dig into why we're attracted exclusively to one or more of these things. Fat activists constantly equate imperial Western ideals with men not being attracted to land whales. Just wait until they find...
And that's where he lost me this time. Look, I get it. 600-pound people are huge. I understand. I am one of the first people to be like, you are obese. It is a medical condition. Sorry. We don't need to do this. We don't need to do this.
Find out how much thinner people are in most Asian countries. Also, imagine if you tried to unpack every single preference a person had. Why is it alright to have every other preference except women who aren't morbidly obese? I'm sure they
Dang, Travis.
wouldn't have this extreme reaction to a man who only wanted to date fat women. In case it's, the inescapable patriarchal propaganda making us complicit in the punishment of women who deviate from those demands.
It kind of is, though. This is the kind of shit that pisses me off. It kind of is. When you deviate from what the acceptable norm is, I mean, a lot of you in the chat can attest to this. When you deviate from what the social norm is, especially given gender roles, you do tend to get punished because that's just not how that society functions. And you are outside of, by choice or by nature, you are outside of what the norm is, and you are going to have a harder time functioning in society because of that. Right? And when you are in a society that is a patriarchal society, like at least the United States, don't even try to argue with me that it's not, then you are going to find it very difficult to navigate a society like this when you are purposefully removing yourself from patriarchal ideas or moving yourself away from the male gaze. That's when women start becoming lesbians because they don't find the man who's hitting on them at the bar attractive. That's patriarchy. Anyway.
How do I investigate that? Ask yourself questions when you find a thin woman attractive. What is it I am attracted to about this woman, other than her thin body type? Ask yourself questions when your eyes slide over a fat woman with the same style or attitude of thin women you find attractive.
You don't find her attractive. It doesn't matter what she's wearing. Look, an obese goth chick is not as attractive as a goth chick of a healthy weight, or non-obese goth chick. When I am gothed out, am not more attractive than my friend from high school who was a skinny goth girl. And like, she could rock it, man. She had like the pale skin, the high boots, the perfect lips, like the hair. She was hot, okay? I don't hold it against her that men found her attractive over me. It's just how it worked. And I'm fully aware of that.
What is it about her that makes her invisible to me? Or what is it about her that awakens the feeling?
If she's invisible to you, how do you know that she's there and therefore can be having this inner conflict with yourself?
Of negativity, or disgust, or of camaraderie rather than attraction. I don't expect this post to change anybody's preferences or actions, and I'm not making it to shame anybody. I'm just exhausted by the relentlessness with which thinness is championed and fat bodies are erased from existence, and particularly from desirability. And I'm tired of the fact that I do have to notice it every second of every day.
Look, man. Someone will find you attractive. It does not matter who you are, what you look like, what you do, how you dress. Someone will find you attractive. Will you have to look for that person? Sometimes. Sometimes that person's looking for you, right? I'm not even doing like there's someone for everybody out there. Groups of people will find you attractive. Hence why, on adult sites, there are a variety of categories for people to go and watch. OF does very well because it has alternative models on it. Yes, it has a lot of white skinny women. Yes. But there are groups of people who go there specifically for other reasons, or who are following a specific model because she fits a different, or he fits a different body shape, whatever, than the typical skinny white woman or buff white guy, right? If you are spending all of your time on the internet bitching about how the guy next door doesn't find you attractive, you're not looking for the people who might find you attractive, right? You're spending all of your time wallowing in your own self-pity as opposed to being like, well, I guess I gotta go be proactive about this and go find somebody who finds me attractive. Fat acceptance exists because dudes found fat women attractive and they wanted fat women. So don't sit here and tell me that society doesn't find fat chicks hot, because they do. Especially in modern society, where the average size of a woman is now a 16, you kind of almost have to find that attractive because anything smaller than that doesn't exist very much. Most people in this country are overweight. You know? That's not true of every country. It's just this one. Anyway. Don't sit here and tell me that you're not attractive. Someone will find you attractive.
Well, almost everybody is free from thinking about it at all. First of all,
Travis.
You're equating someone's preferences to racism and misogyny. So I genuinely don't know how that isn't shaming people. Second of all, do they know that men are capable of looking at more than just the body? It doesn't matter how thin or fat you are. If you're pretty dirty looking, you don't take care of yourself, or you just have an unattractive face,
I don't know
people
about that one.
probably won't find you attractive. Plenty of fat activists have unflattering hair dye or facial piercings too, so maybe that's what's turning people off, or...
I mean, just because you, the dude making this video, don't find facial piercings or weird hairstyles, I agree, so there are some weird hairstyles. Just because that's not something he finds attractive does not mean there isn't people who do find it attractive. I'm not personally a facial piercing person, but I just don't go after people with face piercings. Well, I don't go after anybody right now because I have a partner, but that's not the point. But if I was into that, and clearly there are a lot of people that are, wouldn't that be the thing you would want to go find? And if you're trying to attract that kind of a person, wouldn't that be the thing that you like? If you, I don't know how to put this. Like, if you like face piercings and you like people who like face piercings, that's what you need to be looking for. Maybe you also like face piercings on other people. It's just because this guy doesn't find that attractive doesn't mean it's not attractive. I saw somebody mention AO3. How did we get there? There you go, Nat works. Yeah, well, and then there's that Renato. Oh, darn, he doesn't find me attractive. I'm sure when my hair was blue, he probably didn't find me attractive. He probably doesn't find me attractive anyway, but... Exactly, Travis. Exactly. See, what you like. You know? Some people love full-body tattoos. Some people can't stand tattoos at all. Right? You have like the teeniest, tiniest tattoo and they're like, oh God! You know? That's just the way it is. Ooh, that sucks, chicken. I had a friend, well, she's not a friend anymore, but at the time she was, for her birthday, we went and got her belly button pierced. And I think it was like 3 days later, her body had rejected the piercing. That was not a cheap piercing. I was kind of mad because I paid for it for her birthday. Well, yeah, Sweary Fairy, that's kind of what's happening. You're funny, Travis. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there is. Yeah, okay. AO3 is an excellent example of there's something out there for everybody. Please don't go to AO3. I mean, do if you're an adult. Don't let your kids on AO3 unsupervised. There's some stuff on there that's perfectly fine. You just need to know how to filter for it. People be wanting the people who don't want them. Yeah, exactly, Digital Human. Yeah, Ruby, that's a sad thing. My man's a redhead too, and he's told me stories. Exactly. Who said that up there? Brioche. I hate when they say stuff like, quote, she's ruined her body. Half the time it's some older dude commenting on a 20-year-old. Alright. Probably she's not into you anyway, but if she was, she's not now. Is it really, Theo? The eyebrow and the belly button? Boy, I was so mad. It was like, I forget. It was like, well, look, it was like $85 when I paid for it, and that had to have been like 20 years ago at this point. So that, I don't know, do inflation math. It was a good place that we went to, too. I didn't know you weren't allowed on there until you were 18, but I've never had that issue with AO3. I've always been of age. Yeah, Andrea, I had a friend who did security, and she had this part of her nose pierced, and she had to get like an invisible kind of spot holder because she wasn't allowed to have any face piercings while she was at work because it was a safety hazard in case somebody wanted to like punch her in the face. I don't know why that would happen, but it could. I found getting older that you often like the people who like you. Why do you want to date somebody who doesn't like you? I've never understood that. Hello, Taco Talia. I don't know what that is, and I don't want to know. Because I think I might know, and it's terrifying. Okay, since we're talking about certain types of piercings, guys, please, keep it 18. Or keep it family friendly. The ear gauging thing looks painful. Alex has gauged his ears up since I've been watching him, and it looks painful. But it's also really popular, so. Some of this stuff there is cursed. I don't remember what my ears were when I got them pierced. I got them done at Claire's boutique, though, so I think they were like $30. Some don't like to go in their cells. You guys crack me up. Anyway. Okay, Ashley. I held on there. Hang on. Those earlobes now.
Maybe it's their weird, desperate femcel energy that's doing it. Finally, if you spend every second of every day worrying about people not wanting to shag you, there's a problem, and you ought to touch some grass. Hashtag fatphobia is held to varying degrees for everyone, but as a fat woman, I'm making this post about women. Hashtag maybe expose yourself to diverse body types and then we'll all calm down. Hashtag I'm just so tired. Hashtag this is particularly painful when it's fellow queer people. Hashtag we deviate from the norm. We play with gender expectations, except when it comes to the expectation of thinness. The tags are usually the most saturated with delusion, and this isn't any different.
He's not wrong there. I don't understand those types of hashtags. Like, just write it in the fucking paragraph. Like, anyway. He mentions the femcel thing, and Nadia's mentioned it, and so has Fundy Times. They just straight call it out. I don't disagree that it's a femcel thing. I just think we have to be a little careful with that. Because it's too easy to be like, oh, you're just a femcel. Same thing with, what are the men called? Incels. It's really too easy to be like, oh, you're just an incel. It's kind of like, oh, you're just a lesbian because you don't find me attractive. You know, it's that kind of energy. So just be careful with that one. But there does seem to be a lot of like femcel energy in some of these like you must date fat people posts, and it's kind of disturbing. It wasn't hard until the end. Yes, the shiny metal of my face. Here's the thing though, Elisa. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just, devil's advocate and all that. Wouldn't it be better if they like accepted the whole you, like the personality and the body? Because you are your body, right? So I'm not saying like the fetish end of that, but like if they're just like, yeah, I'll kind of find I find a little extra cushion more attractive than less cushion, and you have that plus your personality is good stuff. You know, wouldn't that be better than, I don't know. I don't play the does this make me look fat with my partner because he will tell me if it does or not because he's got because he's on the spectrum. So I learned that one real fast. He does like me because of the way I look. Bye, Squid Rat. Thanks for stopping by. You find the entire femcel and incel terminology toxic? It kind of is. It's my understanding that incel kind of named themselves, though, and now we're just kind of twisting the femcel thing around onto feminists. Half a back piece. Wow. I am very impressed with tattoo, especially when they're really nice pieces. I'm not saying, like, okay, some tattoos just don't look good. I'm sorry. But the really big, impressive pieces. Yeah, I love my partner. I really do love my partner. I love the fact that he's just blunt as fuck. Ow. Yeah, no, I get you. I get you. Like I said, I was just playing devil's advocate. Random bullshit. Go. If you use the term high value female or male unironically, we can't be friends. The only time I see people, mostly men, tell me that they are a high value man, it's delusional. Like what do you even mean? Like what you find valuable in a male archetype is not necessarily what I find valuable in a male archetype. So you're not a high value man to me, you know? But they probably wouldn't find me a high value female, so that's fine. That's perfectly okay. They can go into their corner. I'm going to stay over here in mine. That's fine. Yeah, brioche incels named themselves, and femcels is a term being thrown around to feminists. Feminists always get the shit end of the stick, though. I mean, I think at this point, we're used to it. Bye, Squid Rat. Thanks for stopping by again. Yeah, Jesse Bay. That's why I like henna stuff, because then you can get it temporarily. And they've got that new fading tattoo ink where it's basically henna. You just draw on yourself. You agree with the sweet-tacular. I agree with the underlying issue being discussed about these individuals externalizing their lack of romantic success. But I think incel and femcel are harsh and contemptuous. Yes, I agree with that. Travis. Oh, that's cool. What do you train on, Nat? How do you practice? How do you practice tattooing people? Cause like I could just it's just like, you know, you're never good at it when you very first start. So what do you start on? What do you practice with? Because I can't imagine you just straight go for somebody's arm. Hang on, man, I got an idea. I don't feel like that's gonna work. You have to respect a man who doesn't play the game. Yeah. Depends on the game. Sorry. Additional guillotine on his arm? That's funny. You guys talking about your like catastrophic piercings is making my whole body cringe. Don't get the fading tattoo ink tats. Yeah, no, I'm not talking about the actual like physical tattoo where they tattoo you with the ink that's supposed to fade. I'm not talking about that one. This is literally it's just effectively it's black henna, and they put it in these little pins, and you can draw on yourself, and it's a temporary tattoo, like the kind that you stick on yourself. It's the same principle. It's just this is the ink that they use. Yeah, I'm too afraid of needles to get a tattoo. It took a lot for me to get my ears pierced. They have like silicone skin. That's kind of cool. A tattooed pig car. Oh, I mean, that makes sense. That's just kind of gross. Started because my partner gifted me. That's great. Ah, see, Theo, you like what you like. Three-eyed coat. Fruit or silicone skin. Interesting. I think I saw somebody practicing on an orange once upon a time. Wasn't sure if that was really how it's done. Silicone practice skin. That must be fun, actually. Just having random pieces of fake skin laying around your house. Well, and then you can practice on yourself, I suppose. Hang on. Or if they still use pigskin for tattoo piercings. It makes sense to do it, though. And straight up tattoo themselves at first. Yeah, I wouldn't want to tattoo myself for the same reason I wouldn't want to tattoo somebody else. Like, what if I F up? That's kind of permanent. Yeah, no, some of it's just the colored hennas tend to, somebody told me that they're just basically hair dye, or the same kind of concept as hair dye, which I'm kind of like, well, I buy hair dye anyway, but I've never done it that way. They just glue glitter. I used to do that thing with the Elmer's glue where you like paint it onto the palm of your hand and you let it dry and then you peel it off. I used to do that. I had a black henna once for Eid. Oh, wow. That sucks. I have heard that it's not actual henna, but yeah, I've heard bad stories about basically tainted henna. Tattooed an orange once. There's a gift for you. Tattoo some fruit. Give that off as a gift. It's handmade, right? No regrets. Yeah, see? Digital Human and I are on the same page. Alright. We are 4 minutes away from finishing this. What do you guys think of this so far? What do you guys think of the video and the creator so far? I mean, be nice. Don't just trash the guy. But if you like him, let me know. And if you don't like him, let me know that too. Just, again, don't trash the guy.
Fat phobia isn't exactly hell, since being fat is a choice, and if fat phobia was ruining your life that much, you could just lose weight instead of whinging online all day. They're also acting like we aren't all attracted to morbid obesity because we haven't seen enough diverse body types, which is stupid since the majority of people in Western countries are overweight or obese. They're also employing the slur queer, which doesn't really surprise me since they love the idea of being abnormal. Apparently,
In certain circles, queer is not a slur, so I don't know how I feel about that statement. I mean, when I was a kid, it wasn't a slur, and I don't feel like in certain circles, I mean, I still see people use it as a non-slur, so I think it can be a slur, don't get me wrong, but so can the word gay, so
Anyone who isn't 100% cis or straight isn't allowed to have standards either, and all of us are meant to be giving out X-rated favours out of sympathy or something. I also don't see how playing with gender expectations has anything to do with being unattractive. It's as if they think they'll be immune from criticism if they act as non-conforming as possible in order to gain some oppression points. Romantic discrimination aside, there's an even more powerful form of hatred towards men in the rotund community. Fit men like thin women.
If he didn't do that kind of shit too, it would make his arguments a lot stronger. Like, earlier he said land whales, now he's saying rotund. I think at one point he said chubby something, chubby club or something like that. Calm down, Travis, calm down. Bring it in, bring it in. Dude has a specific vibe. He does. He does. I like our parasocial hangout sessions more. Yeah, he is thought-provoking. I will give him that. He isn't saying anything new. No, not really. His accent is a little thick for me, and that's unusual. I'm usually pretty good with accents. Yes, he does. He is very myopic, and he does not seem to be going outside of stereotypes. The cliche man with a microphone. Whinging is a good... I do like the term whinging. It's pretty fun, actually. I'm with the cynical dude on this. Like, some things from Europe are actually really fun to say. Travis. That's what I'm talking about, though. Like, with the term queer, like, my friends used to call themselves that. It used to be part of the LGBTQ community. Like, it's a term I've heard a lot. And I have heard it used derogatorily. That's not a word. But anyway, I have heard it used that way. But for the most part, people use it as a self-descriptor, which means it's not necessarily a slur. It can be used as one, but it doesn't mean that it is inherently a slur. But yeah, he has some points. He does have some points. He has some points, but he weakens his argument by not citing his sources and by turning around and doing things like the rotund community and that kind of stuff. Like, he ruins his own arguments the way he talks, and also with his lack of evidence. You wish he showed less of his bias, but he really does. Yeah. Maybe it is he can't help it, or maybe he thinks he's being clever. I find that a lot of these guys think they're being cute when they do this kind of shit, like the rotund community. Look at me. Yeah, look at you. He's mumbo jumbo. Someone not in the UK says it online. I like whinging. I think it's a cool word. Yeah, you weren't here earlier, I guess. Chicken. He did say that. That's true, Molly. Any word can be a swear word. This guy is a cringe whinger. That's funny. I was gonna say, don't just lambaste the guy. I mean, he is trying to wrap this up. Like I said, he's only got like 3 minutes left of it. It's Travis. It is very much a sit and go off topic stream. Yes, it is. This is not my normal content, but I thought it would be fun. Exactly, K-Buns. That's what the Q stands for. It's literally in the name. Kind of like the B part. Oh, does he? I didn't know that about the new Doctor Who guy. I haven't watched Doctor Who since halfway through Matt Smith. I haven't watched it in a while. This just never resonated with you. Exactly. It's not, I wouldn't use it, but that's just because it's not my descriptor. Doesn't mean I don't understand what it means, and I don't understand why. I mean, I understand why people will use it. It's fine. When you were growing up, queer meant you thought someone was gay and that you thought it was a bad thing. Gay was just neutral. Well, there was that whole moment in time where we called everything that was strange or weird or bad gay, so we stopped doing that. From what I hear, Gen Z is taking up that mantle again, but that's just what I've heard. Gay should be a neutral term. I think I'm caught up again. You could always tell when someone's removed from the queer community. That's the thing, like his, I think that's the other reason why the TERF thing gave me the ick when he was talking about it, is because, like, he keeps trying to make it sound like he's an ally, but then he'll say shit where you're like, are you though? Like the whole, like, calling queer a slur, and I don't know, there's just been other little things where he pops off and you're just like, that doesn't sound like something an ally would say, but, you know, I guess you should take an ally where you can get an ally. It is a time warp, yeah, and I'm kind of surprised at it. 90s were a weird time. Yes, this is true. This is also very true. It's the hyper-awareness of niche culture war stuff that sets off the 2 online alarm bells for you. Yeah. Not sure how you feel about the guy, but you're open to more for it. That's the thing, like, his videos aren't bad. They're very thought-provoking. Calling Canadian pigeons aggressive, discriminatory. No, it is a true fact. You use it, but it's simpler than explaining all the aspects of my. Well, that's kind of what the point of the term was for. Like, it was like the catch-all term. You didn't feel one way, you didn't feel the other. You just used the word queer to describe yourself. I'm very odd. Growing up in a rural area, you always heard it as a slur, but it wasn't hurt until you moved. Till you saw it as an identifier. Yeah, it wasn't always part of the LGBTQ. Yeah. This is true. You've had a nice time despite this guy being weird. Yeah, well. Yeah, exactly. Travis says, a lot of these guys are openly homophobic and stuff in private, but no, it's not acceptable in making content. Yeah, and I feel like the whole, like, TERF thing and the whole trying to pretend like they understand LGBTQ terminology, I feel like that's like, well, it's performative. It feels performative. Kind of like a, hey, look, I'm actually your friend. Yeah, yeah. I know the words. I know how to use that word. No, you don't. Woke up very queer today. I mean, to be fair, queer is also an actual word with an actual meaning. It's all over the place in Alice in Wonderland. It's giving optics more than actual allyship. Yes. Get those pigeons out of here. We love our Canadian pigeons. Our militant Canadian pigeons. I've never heard it as questioning, but I mean, I guess. I always thought it meant queer. Did we change it to questioning? When did that happen? I'm so out of touch. It's fine, Sweet-tacular. You don't have to use a term to describe yourself if you don't like it. I'm from Gen X. We don't like labels.
Women are objects, apparently. Fat women are beautiful Aphrodites, but what about all the fat men like myself? Fat men need to die.
See, this backs up his argument. It would still be better. Would still be better if there was a date and even just like an icon so that I know it's a real post. I mean, it could still be fake, don't get me wrong, but this is better than nothing.
This whole society hates fat women, but fat men especially hate fat women. And then they have the fucking audacity to complain about beauty standards and whatnot, even though it doesn't affect them. Fucking pieces of shit. All precious.
I'm sorry. The first time I heard him do this, I was just like, my precious.
Men should just die. Hashtag fatphobia. Hashtag don't you fucking dare reblock this if you think fatphobia isn't real. Hashtag as if you fucking skinny women have any idea what fat women have to go through.
I mean, I grew up fat, so. All of his stuff is coming off of Tumblr, though. And this video was from September 13th of this year, so. I'm not saying Tumblr isn't a reliable source. I'm just like, I would like to see more and possibly more used, more modernly used, more popular. Popular, I think is the word I'm looking for. Social media sites. Even a few things from Threads would have been fine. I know it's not the most popular, but it is kind of like the new thing, the new kid on the block. Twitter would have been fine. Facebook I would even accept. I just need him to be a little bit more varied. It feels like he just went to Tumblr and typed in like angry fat women and just got a bunch of posts. Again, cite your sources and all that. I need to get better about that in my own videos, I feel like, so.
Well, consider my timbers fully shivered. I guess I'll have to start going to the gym soon if I want to live. Oh, wait, that's fatphobic too.
Shame on you if you work out. Fuck you.
Time to go die in a pit of shame then. Fat activists are mainly lonely, terminally online, socially inept, obese women for the same reason that incels
What is happening?
are
I
usually
don't know,
lonely,
chicken.
terminally online, socially inept, creepy men. The people that they are desperate for approval from are the enemy. The people that they're jealous of are the enemy. The people who have shared experiences but aren't oppressed enough are also the enemy. Fat activists actively despise fat men in the same way that incels actively despise women that they don't.
His whole thing about like everybody's the enemy. He's not wrong. See, this is why I'm like, I don't know how I feel about the channel. But anyway, he's not wrong about it. It's like everybody's the enemy. The enemy of my enemy is my enemy. And the friend of my enemy is my enemy. And that guy over there who's doing nothing, he's my enemy too. You know, that kind of stuff. He went to Anna's school for citing sources. Trust me, bro. Yeah, but even Reddit would be... I just want some variety. That's one of the things they teach you in school. Is one of the things when you go to college, they teach you that your sources have to be wide and varied. It was a scare boy. Wow. I said see you later, boy. Oh my god. That was one of my favorite songs. Yeah, exactly, Molly. It's the classic case of everyone I don't like is insert bad person buzzword. Yeah, basically. He does make some good coins, but his delivery is unpleasant. Yeah.
Don't find attractive enough for them. Fat activists despise male fat activists because they aren't oppressed enough. Incels hate femcells because they aren't oppressed enough. Incels feel entitled to attractive women and despise them when they can't get them. Fat activists feel entitled to attractive men and despise them when they can't get them.
Here he's lumping. I know I don't know if he did this intentionally or if this has just been his argument the entire time and it just clicked. He is implying that fat activists are femcells in this statement especially. And I don't think all fat activists are femcells. Now, I think a lot of the women, assuming they're even real. Here's the thing with the internet. Nobody knows you're a dog on the internet, right? So I'm always curious how many of these like faceless accounts where they're just constantly stirring shit and trying to cause fights and saying the most inflammatory stuff that they can say. I often wonder if that's a real account or if that's literally someone just trolling, because some people are just like that. They don't particularly care. They don't actually agree. They just want to start fights. And so they'll create accounts where they claim to be a certain type of person and try to ingrain themselves into a movement or into a group, and then they just start being the most inflammatory person they can be in order to start trouble, right? Anonymous. So my point is, how many of these, that's the other reason why I kind of need him to cite sources, is just because like the validity of those sources is important to me, because what if he is quoting, what if that person who was like saying, you know, all men need to die and yada, 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 and, you know, skinny women are bitches and that's kind of stuff. What if that's somebody's inflammatory account? What if that's not a real person? What if that's a troll account and he's taking it as real? And I mean, that's kind of the point of the troll accounts. You don't know, right? But my point is still, if he had cited his sources, I could have gone and looked at it and I could have been like, well, let me look at the rest of the shit that this person posts. And then you can see that, you know, the account's only like a year old or something like that. And all they post is inflammatory stuff. And then you can be like, I'm not saying for sure this person's a troll, but I'm pretty convinced that person's a troll, kind of a thing, you know? You do take issue with reaction channels who criticize people's looks and they don't show their own face. I know I go after Anna every now and then, but it's not because I am making fun of her. I'm just kind of pointing out her own double standards, or just like the irony of her statements. I don't try to attack people's looks because it's the worst kind of argument you can make. It just kind of proves that you don't have an argument. I'm a wolf, actually. Girl guy in real life. Yeah, that was a thing. Does random guy care about all this so much in the first place? I think you'd have to go read his book, Travis. He tried to start off as a political channel, as a political commentary channel, like a philosophical political channel, and it didn't work for him. But he's starting to get some traction doing the fat acceptance. We'll go back and look at his channel again and I'll show you guys. But this is a shift for him as in tone on his channel. I'm a pigeon right now and I'm from Canada. We can look at his book. He's got a link here. I've looked at it before and I was like, maybe in the future. Let me finish Anna's book first. That's enough of a challenge for me right now. I had an attack flightless duck. I didn't train him. He just assumed I was his lady. He was possessive. That's amazing.
These people enjoy wallowing in their own misery and narcissism so much that they reject anybody or anything that could meaningfully improve their lives or communities and act like victims whilst doing it.
I don't disagree with him. That's the problem.
Maybe this actually answers my original question of where all the insecure fat men are. Maybe they're all just incels. Thank you for watching. If there are any fat haze men, please make yourself known in the comments. I promise that my viewers are nice. They won't do anything to you.
I love each and every one of you in a strangely platonic way because I know that you are all humans at some point. I would never make a statement like that. I trust each one of you about as far as I can throw you, and since I can't pick you up, that isn't very far. No offense. I would never set somebody up like that. No. Come into my comments section. All of my viewers will be perfectly nice to you. I know that's not true. Not anybody in my chat. You are all perfect angels. I'm just saying. Yeah, I won't claim to be nice. It's wild for him to attack people for victims' narratives and then try to claim men are being over. That's kind of been the argument this entire video.
I'm just kind of interested to hear where you're coming from. What got you into Haze? Are you still in Haze? Did you leave Haze? Or are you more of a body positivity kind of guy? Anyway, again, I will apologise if the uploads are a little light on the ground at the minute, or if they're not the highest quality, but I'm living in a hell worse than fat phobia, if you can even believe that. So
I don't believe that.
So anyway, thanks as always for watching. I'm not going to shill too hard, but just a reminder, my other video is now available on Patreon, where it is...
He's just chilling for his channel. If you guys want to go... Again, I'm not endorsing this, I'm just citing my sources. This is what we just watched, if you guys want to go check it out on your own. I mean, That is not an endorsement. That I guess I should say, don't go over there just to start shit. If you're gonna go check his channel out, be honest about it. Don't go start shit. Because again, I don't really know how I feel about it. I watch Omegon a lot. I have a lot of beef with Omegon. I don't think he gives two shits about me, but that's not the point. Same thing here. He kind of gives off the same kind of vibes. I'm Rosemary's Baby. I love that you guys just take that in stride. I need a kosher farmstead. I don't sense a genuine desire within this guy's voice to actually help these people. He seems to want to diagnose and judge and shame. And yeah, I mean, entirely possible. I think to me, he just kind of comes off smelling his own farts, if that makes sense. Like, he comes off kind of arrogant, but that doesn't mean he doesn't have good points. All right, so far I've got a wolf, a rock, a Canadian pigeon. Anybody else want to out themselves? Do his fans attack people? I don't know. He doesn't. Does he have any comments? Why do they do this? Why are the comments all the way down here? I just got 15 different comments. That's not bad. I love the Haze woman. Incel correlation. Great point and hilarious delivery. All right. Wait, there's supposed to be 15 comments here. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where are the other 10? Where are the other 10? Even if I count the replies, that's not 10. All right. Among men being more morbidly obese isn't nearly the political and cultish issue that it is around women. However, the result is the same. The grave. Remember the great Hawaiian musician IZ. He died at 38 from complications of morbid obesity. Look, man, let's not go after Hawaii and their obesity problem because that's completely our fault. So, putting that out there. What's actually insane?
But fat menace.
Oh, that is actually insane, yes. Again, is that a real person? Another excellent video. Jordan Underwood claims to be male. Okay, we're gonna not read that one. What did you say in response, though? Okay, we're just not gonna read that one. I'm not gonna give that airtime. Anyway. So, two things. I said I'd show you guys his account again. Excuse me. So he started off making videos about, well, he started posting about 5 months ago. And I mean, he has an identity. He's trying to be open with his identity of himself. And here's the thing, like, the awful implied autistic representation, the Sheldon problem. I don't disagree with this, right? The concept, I'm like, yes, this idea I agree with. I'm afraid to watch it because I'm afraid he's gonna ick me off. He talks about Munchausen here. What are we doing? Yeah, it's my phone. Talks about his Hashimoto's. This weird, I'm not attractive and that's okay. Like, I mean, I don't think you should think you're unattractive. Manipulation, ideological bankruptcy. Okay, so this is the video where he was going on about his FA turf horseshoe thing. This is the first video he made on that. And you can see that it's the biggest jump in views that he had in all of these videos. And then this next one, he put Anna's name in the title, which is magic, by the way. And he got 5.7k views. Did another one using Anna. 3.k views, history of obesity. I'm kind of interested in that only because I'm pretty sure he's going to get a lot wrong. And then he drifts off from that and his views start going down again. Then if you put fat activist cringe in something, you're gonna get a bajillion views. And that's probably, this one's just, well, he's using Sam's video in that, but he doesn't mention Sam in the thing. Fat activists are femcells, 1.4K. And the one that we just watched, no. This is severely insecure. Oh, he's talking about fat activism has a new angry theme tune and it sucks. I don't care. But anyway. Manufactured Perceptions and Modern Power Complexes. He published this in June. But, I mean, if you guys want to read that, I'm not reading the whole thing. Also, I don't trust myself to be able to pronounce some of these names. But this is his book. I think it's his only book. And I mean, it's cool if he wants to be, like, a philosophical, political commentarist, whatever. That's cool. I don't want to dip into that. So, only because I don't trust myself to know enough to do it. But I can sure take an argument apart. Mastering Stoicism. Because that's the point of Stoicism, is to master it. You wonder if you even know what Stoicism is. Marcus Aurelius. Wait, that's actual meditations. Never mind. The Socratic way of questioning. My dad would do this shit to me, and it would aggravate the living bejeebus out of me. Ah, I hated it so much. Why do you think that is? Because, Dad, that's why! Anyway. There's fake. Oh, we're still talking about tattoos. I recommend Hannah Reloaded for political content. Well, I'm always down for a conspiracy theory. There's the feral pigeon. Chicken. I'm not attractive, and that's okay. I sleep all night and I work all day. Me no stuff. And what not. Well, why are you struggling because we effed it up? We being the US. What are we talking about? We're actually kind of done, unfortunately. Chotoro. I think that's how we want. I don't know. So he's jumping on hot topics and doing surface level research and observations. Yeah, kind of. Yeah. He's found a niche with fat acceptance. He's found a niche with anti-fat acceptance and anti-feminism. So he's found a niche here, and he's gonna keep spamming that button. Which is, I mean, let's be honest. That's why you start a channel, right? Most of the time. Especially something like this. Like, his name is Politirants. He's trying to talk about, he came here to talk about politics. He came here to rant about politics. So, you know, once he's found his niche, he's going to stick with it. It's just how it works. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm perfectly aware of how my videos perform when I'm talking about Anna versus anyone else. So, I understand why people talk about Anna. So, Anna being glitter and lasers, not the other type of Anna, which you're not allowed to talk about on YouTube. A lot of people talk about Sheldon and autism representation because it's like, that's what he's not supposed to, but is totally supposed to be representing, and it's bullshit. Don't get me started. I hate the Big Bang. Videos are weird. I've been looking at videos and it will say 8 comments and I look at theirs. Yeah, what's going on with that shit? You know, it'll tell me there's comments, on my end, on my videos, and I go to look and there's no comment. So I don't know what's up with that. Yeah. I don't want to know. Oh, I'm a brave little toaster. Don't you know the story of the brave little toaster, Sweetacular? I am a simple eldritch horror. I am not a cat. Okay, we've got birds and foxes and eldritch horrors and toasters and... Am I in top... I am in top chat purgatory. God damn it. I wasn't when I set it up. Gosh darn it. That's been the whole damn video, too. Jeez. I'm sorry, guys. Crap, I've missed a ton of shit. Yeah, I hate Big Bang. I'm sorry. I don't like it. I've never thought it was funny. I think it's lowbrow humor, and... Sorry, I don't like it. If you like it, that's fine. I don't like it. As someone who gets constantly compared to some of those characters, I don't think it's fucking funny. Anyway. Well, I'm sorry I've had this on top chat the entire time, guys. I really am. I didn't mean to miss 90% of the fucking conversation. I hate YouTube, but whatever. Here we are. Yeah, no, if you guys think I'm on top chat, sometimes just shout it out, because it's entirely possible that I am, and I just need to check it. So, also, if you're on top chat, you're only getting like 10% of the conversation, so you want to go up there and change your little heading to be live chat or all chat. Yes, Travis, that is exactly perfect. Sheldon is an excellent example of people that weaponize their neurodivergency to be an asshole. I think you're... like, did I didn't predict OF in her rune reading. I don't remember her rune reading, to be perfectly honest. Friends is not funny. And Skeletor. Here's my problem, all right? Because Travis is saying Always Sunny, and I've heard good things about that. I don't like sitcoms to begin with. And I really don't like sitcoms that are heavily dependent on stereotypes to make jokes and be funny. Kim was in here earlier, and she probably did mention it, and I probably missed it because I didn't have live chat going. Friends has funny moments, but like... I mean, all shows have funny moments. Everybody's funny at some point. Now see, Cloak and Cloak, I did think Scrubs was hilarious. But I didn't watch it religiously. I only caught an episode here and there. Always Sunny is a sitcom, which is kind of why I was never into it. Was Pivot a show? I don't even know what that is. I've heard good things about Park and Recs, and I never watched it either. Scrubs was, I thought Scrubs was funny, but again, I didn't watch it that often. Oh god, I fucking hate Seinfeld. Oh look, the chat actually moves. Crazy. I appreciate Always Sunny because like everyone in the show is supposedly like a horrible person, and it's just stories about horrible things happening to horrible people, and I'm like, I can appreciate that as a sitcom, but I don't want to watch it. I don't understand why people are so obsessed with Friends. Community. I don't think I ever watched it. I did like House, but as far as humor, Scrubs was funnier. House was a good show. I did watch the hell out of that for about the first 4 seasons. After that, I didn't watch anything. 30 Rock was okay. I remember watching a few episodes of that and thinking it was pretty funny. I don't think I've ever watched Spaced. I mean, I was literally raised on Monty Python, so I guess my standards are just high. Seinfeld is depressing, The Faithful Duo. Like, they're... that one really is, like, terrible thing... Like, terrible people, the show. Like, none of those people were relatable or nice or somebody I would want to know in real life. What was the other one? With the dry sense of humor. I think it was the same writer. Frasier. I fucking loved Frasier, though. Go figure. I don't know why. I loved that show. What was the other one? It was the same kind of, like, sense of humor as Seinfeld. Oh, crap. Maybe somebody will pop it up. I don't think I've seen The League of Gentlemen. There's probably a ton of these I've never even heard of. I never watched The Office, but the clips I've seen of it are kind of funny. Red Dwarf was good. Are You Being Served? Huge fan of that. Black's Books. Oh my god. Black's Books. At least the first season of Black's Books. Was it Curve Your Enthusiasm, Jesse B? I almost said that. Maybe it was that one. I can't remember if that's a British comedy or not. Because it wasn't British. It's the one I was thinking of. Frasier's brother was yeah, the show. Frasier's dad and Frasier's brother were the two main reasons to watch Frasier, because Frasier himself was not likable. But I think that was supposed to be the point. Nobody liked Frasier and everybody liked everybody else. Squidbillies was okay. I think I watched like 5 episodes of it. Evil was okay. I didn't watch the whole season, but I liked what I saw of it. I loved Are You Being Served? It was funny. Modern Family gets... I could watch Modern Family. It's fine. I like that one. I like the idea of it, which I think is why I tolerate it more. Okay, Curbed is American. Then it's Curb Your Enthusiasm. That's the other one I fucking hated. Yeah, the same writer as Seinfeld. Oh, God. That guy is not funny. Frasier's dad was the show. Yeah. What We Do in the Shadows. Look, that doesn't count. That is in a category all of its own, okay? All on its own. Called masterpieces. But anyway. I heard Resident Alien's funny. Ghost UK and American is hilarious. Arrested Development had its moments. Like when the banana stand burned down. That was actually really funny, but because I hated everybody. I didn't see Westworld. I heard good things. I haven't seen the IT Crowd. Yeah, well, okay, Cheers doesn't count because Cheers is Cheers. And that's where Frasier came from, was from Cheers. What was the other one they tried to spin off from Cheers and it didn't go anywhere? I hated Everybody Loves Raymond. Oh, Ghosts. I know what you're talking about. Uncloaked. That looked good. I didn't watch it. Yes, I have seen the film. Firefly and Serenity. Again, those don't count. Those are in their own little category called masterpieces. Would I be willing to read House of Darkness, House of Light? I don't know what that is, so I can't say yes or no. Larry David sucks. I'm sorry. He's not funny. Alright, anyway. I'm just fuming over Larry David not being funny and the moments of my life that he has stolen away from me. Oh, here's another channel. I will boost this channel. Fit and Full Fat. That's a good channel. You guys should go watch her. What is she at now? Yeah, she's only at she's only at 3K subscribers. Just barely. But her stuff's good. She's a little snarky. She's very poignant. She's got good sound. Yeah, see? Her fat is special. So. And this is another one of those channels that did a real hard pivot. I don't blame her. Like, she started off being a health and fitness channel, and she still is. But then she did this video on J-Bay, and she goes from 400-ish views to 10K, and you just kind of have to go, okay, that's where the views are. And if that allows her to pivot back to these and get people watching this stuff again, I don't have a problem with it. But it's also good. Her content's good. And she gets crazy views on her videos. Why is her subs count so low? Anyway, this is Fit and Full Fat. Go check her out. She's pretty good. She currently has my endorsement. Currently. No, Fit and Full Fat, she doesn't come off as a bully when she's snarky. No, she's just snarky. She's just, like, pointing out the irony of it. She has tasteful snark, yes. Oh, you don't think they're funny, chicken? That's fine. Oh, you guys still talking about shows? Sorry. Yeah, she's very reasonable. She's also very logical when she puts her arguments forward, which... Yeah. Also, her sound is good, so her voice comes off really nice, and so it's very easy to listen to. The algorithm be the devil. Coffee and Cults did a documentary on Amber. I don't know what that is. Sounds cool, though. Coffee and Cults. YouTube's most inspiring creator. Constantly, what is this?
When you think about...
Constantly online woman explains the Amberverse. Alright, she's self-aware. I like this. Sweet-tacular. Hey, I mean, if you watch her because you like the way she looks, that's fine too. She's worked very hard to look that nice. Can't trust Canadians. This lady, Coffee and Cults, this looks good. I mean, we're starting off with that 70s show. That was actually somewhat funny. Now I'm just scrolling down. Some of the shit that gets... I've never in my life watched this channel. Hannah's on Insanity, Influencer Insanity episode 11, though. I need to get caught up, like, bad. Never watched this guy. Hey, Sean. Dr. Gluon, Milk Tea. I don't watch Obese to Beast anymore. Haven't in years. Sam at every size. I have no idea who Turkey Tom is. Why are you in my... Larry David is not funny, no. You just finished this video, it's amazing, kind of funny. Ruined by that actor being total scumbag. Oh, that's right, there was some scandal, wasn't there? This dude. Yeah, this dude was like really gross, wasn't he? I don't remember all the details. And it's fine, you guys don't have to go into details. You like some of Obese? I don't dislike his videos, I just don't like them anymore. Salty Crab, I have to take in doses. Karina, I have to take in doses. Who's the other one? Mama Goob. I like Mama Goob, but I gotta take her in doses. I really like going to Mama Goob, especially when she's talking about glitter and lasers, because they have a very similar... She has some of the same problems that glitter and lasers has. So it's nice to hear her talk about it from her experience, because she's had the weight loss surgery and it's been very successful for her. So. Allie. I don't know. That might be a good thing. Getting out of the girl world. The 70s show had its moments. Night, Alyssa. I don't like Turkey Tom. I don't know who Turkey Tom is. Have I seen Anna's newest short? No. We're gonna look at Anna's newest short. Yeah, here. I was trying to find this dude's channel. Speaking of Omegon. Yeah. We're gonna watch this, and then we're gonna be done with this, because I need to get ready to do the members live. I need to watch this, and I haven't yet. Girl. What did I think of the Chappelle show? I don't remember. I remember it existed. I don't think I watched it. Sorry, I gotta... Alright. The Obese to Beast versus Michelle McDaniel's war was weird. Yes, it was. I think Michelle handled it quite well. Shorts. Oh... Yeah, okay, so I already know about this because I'm part of her newsletter. If you go over to her Threads account, you can sign up for it too. But that's the only place where she's advertising that she has a newsletter that I've seen, so... I won't call it hideous, Catherine. I'd like it in an ugly sweater kind of way, and it's very Anna. It's very, very Anna. Oh, Katy Bear. Yeah, I've been watching her. I love her. I'm actually going to react to some of her videos on my channel. I really like her. No, I'm in live chat. It says live chat. It says live chat. Right here. I checked it 3 times now. Get the booger. It wasn't a booger. My eyes are watering. You don't like either Michelle McDaniels or Beast to Beast? She can be abrasive. I can see why you would think she's abrasive. I don't think she's abrasive, but I like her sense of humor. I do have the most fantastic hats. This one's pretty tame, too. The purple one that everybody really loves, I love it. My mom made that one. I've got a gray one that I'm working on. It's going to have floating candles, and it's more of a Christmas hat. This one I've got some mushrooms to stick on it. I need to work on my other hats, is what I'm saying. That's insane. Yours has changed back to top 3 times this live. So maybe I did have it on live chat and it just switched itself over. Damn it. I don't know if she's filtered or she's really good with her foundation. I don't know why it puts you on top chat as the default. Does Anna have the Habsburg jaw? No. She does in this, but no, she doesn't know normally. I know what that is. We should have all worn hats? Yes. Is there music in this? Ah. I should have just checked that. My most recent video that I put up, I've had to edit twice because of her fucking music. So... let's do this. Where's that? There we go. Bonk. Now you can't hear it. Nah, nah, nah. I don't hate this. I don't know if I would wear it. I don't hate it, though. If I was doing something very specific, like an ugly sweater party, or any kind of like Christmas party where you're supposed to look like a dumbass, I would totally wear this, right? Or if I'm just trying to annoy the shit out of my friends, this is what you wear that for. She's contoured her jaw. Yeah, I believe that. Next time, send a memo. I will put it in the description. Hats are required. Larry David is not funny, Deplorable Goats, and I will fight you on that. Nah, it's fine. It's fine. I've liked him in other things. I just don't like those two shows. And his sense of humor is not... I don't like it. It's very much her dog. It is her dog, yes. What is she doing? Boy, she just thinks she's the most talented girl in the school, doesn't she? Okay, so that was one of them. She's got... I can't wait to see the whole collection. I think I have to wait till the 10th to see the whole collection because I'm on her newsletter. But it doesn't look terrible. My cat has a hat. You didn't like her when she was My Thoughts Will Probably... at least she was warning people, though. You don't like the color? Well, there's that, Mammy Belle. I don't think I would buy any of it. Her transitions are the worst. So this is one of the onesies. She's got several onesies, or maybe they're supposed to be sets, but they look like onesies. And they're just like fleece onesies. You know? I will say, she only goes up to a 5X. How is that inclusive? Needs to go to at least a 6X or above to be inclusive. Anyway. Hey, Panda Baby's here. Counts as a veil. A veil is a type of hat. I don't know, Ruby. From the sound of her book, she was not really... didn't get a lot of attention when she was a kid, honestly. It sounds like her siblings got all the attention and she was just kind of an afterthought a lot of the time. She was upfront about her thoughts were not my taste and she's Has Michelle McDaniels mellowed? I don't know. Maybe she's just like found her rhythm and it's not as jarring anymore. She's still pretty opinionated, which is fine. I don't like everything she puts out. Yeah, but you give it another shot, Sweet-tacular. I mean, if you don't like her, you don't like her. It's just, you know, there are other creators. Maybe you have changed, K-Buns. Maybe she's changed you. I'm kidding. Right. She's put stories up on Insta with a few different items. Yeah. She's in the room with me. It's funny. Her color choices are kind of crazy. Her makeup's different. I mean, doesn't look any different than she normally does. I wasn't gonna say that, Miki, but it's definitely like holiday wear. Like you really wouldn't wear it any other time of the year or outside of your house. Now Anna says it's gonna go down to an S. It's gonna go from small to 5X. No love and fear. Wow, alright. So, alright. You know what? If you think she's abrasive, that's fine. I mean, she does say that her thoughts will probably offend people, and she has gone after people, you know, pointing that out. That's part of the Obese to Beast / that was part of the fight with Obese to Beast that she was not aware she was having until after the fact. I just thought that was funny. But yes, Anna has her own clothing line. Is it a collab? I don't think so. Oh yeah, it's Jolly Days. I don't know who Jolly Days is. Yeah, Fair Isles are those. All right. Anyway, all right. I know Rocky just got here, but I'm going to close this down here. It's been 3 hours. I think that's enough for you guys, and I'm gonna get ready for a members live. I think I'm gonna start in about, I don't know, 30 minutes, so like 5:10, and it's just gonna be members only though, so I don't know what we're doing, but we're gonna do it because I owe you guys a members only. So we may. I think I want to watch something that's completely unrelated to Girl World, because I've been wanting to watch it, and I want to kind of. I want to watch it. So anyway, I will see you guys in roughly a half hour, and thank you everybody who has joined me. I appreciate it. If you've made it this far in the video, leave a. What have we been talking about this whole time? Leave a Christmas tree because it's the last thing I remember. And yep, I will see everybody next time I go live. Yes, stretch, drink water, stay well. I'll talk to everybody later. Bye.